I got a bunch of stories to run by you today. We'll start with Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay.
Taylor Swift. She dropped her latest album, The Tortured Poet Society, last week, and one song apparently calls out Kim Kardashian.
I heard about this.
And in her new track, it's called Thank You, Amy. Now, here's the deal. Well, I'll explain in a second. She paints Kim in this song as a bully and slams her as a bronze sprayed tan statue. And if you need hints that she is talking about Kim, in the title, Thank You, Amy, the only capital letters are the K in thank, and in Amy is I and M, so K-I-M.
Wow.
So that's the word. So Swifties quickly showed their support for the music superstar. Tons of comments have flooded Kim's Instagram posts, all saying things like, finally, someone stood up to Amy, or thank you, Amy. If you need a reminder, the two have feuded ever since Kim released that recorded call between Taylor and then husband Kanye West.
Yes, absolutely. It was a whole big dust up.
Well, and what that audio? What was that? What she wasn't like? It didn't make Taylor look bad, did it?
No. There was this whole.
She was kind of like, "What are you talking about?"
Right, and there was something about he included her in a song, and then suggested he might have had sex with her. I believe.
The song.
Yeah, and but it was this weird thing, and apparently there was a point at which it seemed like they were collabing, and then they weren't collabing, and then of course there was him going up on stage when he felt Beyonce should have won the award.
Right, I remember that.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Right.
So
that's the classic.
It's been a rocky road.
Here is, and that's an ice cream flavor. Here is She really puts a lot of thought into these little messages sent in the song.
So I listen. I appreciate her vast talent. She's a juggernaut, probably the most famous star in the world right now. I don't know if I really dial into every song has sort of a.
I mean, but a ton of her songs, the songs that have made her so much money are about someone.
There's an article, I forget where I saw it, but it breaks down literally each lyric and each person, and some of it, now we're led to believe they all did her wrong. Okay, she seems pleasant, but still, it seems kind of weird.
I agree with you, and rock on, because it's what has driven her success.
You can't argue with it.
The melodies obviously are a big part of it too. She's a great song constructor, but for me personally, somebody airing their grievances and these things, it's just not what I'm into.
So you could write, anonymously, or if it's this easy, I think now every song is going to come under scrutiny, because the precedent has been set that each one of these things pertains to someone in her life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if that's what inspires her and that's how she writes, it is what it is. But if you watch the documentary on her, she overthinks everything. She thinks about what how she looks and every bit of her body and what she's wearing and what the person in the first row thought. And so she overthinks a lot, and she's had to work on herself to not be like that. So
not obsess over
things. Yeah.
Well, probably the same ability to obsess over things gives her the talent to be this productive. So it's a double-edged sword. But I remember what happened when they re-released Nick. They re-released she re-recorded all her albums, and then the one album that goes after Jake Gyllenhaal comes out, and that was already settled science at that point. And he suddenly gets a whole barrage of pissed off Swifties coming at him. He's like, that's over.
Yeah, so did John Mayer.
John Mayer, too.
Yeah, they broke up more than a decade ago. So I can't believe Travis Kelce's in it now, and he has to be looking at this record and be like, dear God, I hope I don't mess up.
Where am I?
He better propose.
There's 3 songs about him on it.
Right,
obviously good ones at this point.
Right. By the way, Kim Kardashian lost about 100,000 followers on social media after the song came out.
Oh, go Swifties.
That said, though, she has around 363 million Instagram
she's
followers.
okay.
So, yeah,
Take that, bitch.
Taylor has 283 million followers, so she's trailing a little bit behind her there. Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger are getting a lot of heat from architects and celebs alike. The couple bought the Zimmerman House in Los Angeles last year, which is an architecturally significant house, and then they tore it to the ground so they could build a new one on top of it. Apparently, the couple bought the property because it was close to Catherine's mom, Maria Shriver. Architects have shared their disappointment on social media, but so have actors and writers like Elijah Wood and Katie Delaney.
Apparently, they want to erect a house that looks like Fred Flintstone's house from the Flintstones,
cool.
which would be very cool.
Katie wrote, "Maybe I'm different, but I would have a hard time sleeping soundly if I spent $12.5 million on this house only to tear it down."
What did the Zimmerman house look like?
I don't know. I don't know. Elijah, meanwhile, retweeted the news about the house being torn down with a sad face emoji, by the way.
So sad.
Smile, little buckaroo.
Yeah.
I've seen this house before.
It's a well-known home?
Yeah, but it is
interesting.
It's sort of
very dated looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick pulled up some pictures of it. Was it it was a Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Or it was the Frank. Okay.
No, you're right. It was.
Rochelle just went out to Western Pennsylvania to visit the house out there.
Falling Water.
Falling Water, yeah. It was a Frank Lloyd Wright house. So it was really cool. I would like to go there.
He's, if you ever get a chance to tour or see any of his designs, it's worth it.
Okay. Well, they tore this one down.
Yeah.
They ripped it down, so they're catching a little bit of heat from it. Halle Bailey is opening up about the severe postpartum depression that she's dealing with as a new mom.
Oh, it's got to suck.
Yeah, she welcomed a son, Halo, with her boyfriend DDG last week.
Is that one of the robots from Rogue One?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Late last year, after keeping her pregnancy a secret until he was born, the Little Mermaid star compares what she's going through to, quote, swimming in the ocean that's made up of the biggest waves you've ever felt. And she said, you're trying not to drown and you're trying to come up for air. And you have those moments where you come up for air and they feel like the most beautiful things. And it's great. And then you have those moments where you're drowning again.
I think so. At a moment in your life when you're told you're supposed to be like joyous, here's this thing you've brought into the world and you can't understand. I've heard some women describe it, and it is that absolute dichotomy. Yeah. Why do I feel so miserable? And here's this wonderful thing in my life.
Yeah, and she also says it has nothing to do with her 3-month-old son, who she calls perfect, beautiful, and special. Fortunately, Bailey has also had the support of DDG, who she praises for being a present partner while she battles with severe postpartum depression.
So I think she can say that now, but later on, use it if she ever gets into a fight with the kid.
Yeah.
You don't know what I put up with.
Yeah, exactly. During a recent interview, Zendaya was asked about the abnormal amount of attention the media pays to her kissing scenes. The Dune star says she's confused over the attention, finds it odd, and speculates that it might be driven by a desire to produce viral content. She goes on to say that kissing scenes are just a normal part of her job, even though they might be perceived differently by some people. The question may have been related to all the talk about her upcoming film, Challengers, where she plays a tennis star in a complex love triangle. She says that despite the film's R rating and incredibly sexy subject matter, the movie doesn't actually contain any explicit sex scenes. But the trailer has her with two guys on a bed.
It's pretty sexy.
Kissing one, and then she turns and she starts making out with the other guy, and it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
So after more than a decade of playing younger characters, Challengers will be Zendaya's first leading lady role, and she's excited about it. To prepare for the part, she trained in tennis for months, even getting kudos from Serena Williams, who says she's pretty good for someone who has never played tennis before.
So if you stop and think about it, there's virtually the same scene with Mama Fratelli in The Goonies. But no one made a big deal about that.
She's so good at the tennis that the movie's director says they hardly used any of the footage filmed using her tennis playing double. They used mainly her.
What was that lady's name in real life?
She was a character actress. She actually lost part of her tongue.
She was in Throw Mama from the Train.
From the Train. That's right. She talks that way.
Ellen.
Nick will look that up. In fact, he's doing that right now. So let's find out, because I am curious as well. You kidding me? Oh, Anne Ramsey.
That's it.
Anne Ramsey is her name. Eminem is celebrating a milestone in his sobriety journey. He shared on Instagram that he has been sober for 16 years now. Marked the anniversary without comment, posting a photo of himself holding a recovery chip or coin that reads Unity, Service, and Recovery. He has been sober since April 2008. Between 2002 and 2008, he struggled with an addiction to Ambien, Valium, and Vicodin.
Wow.
In 2022, he looked back on his near-fatal 2007 drug overdose, a time when he was taking, quote, 75 or 80 Valium a night, and said that he isn't sure how he survived. The year after he got clean, he released his 6th studio album, Relapse, and he shared that he felt really happy after the drugs left his system, making Relapse, he added, was the first time, quote, that I had fun recording in a long time. though he had to relearn how to rap. He said it took a long time for my brain to start working.
Is he still doing the spaghetti pop-ups?
You know what? I don't know. I would
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
It was a hit, so I would hope that he is.
Steve, just a few days ago, he posted about that on his Instagram account as well. Preston, have you seen the movie Funny People with Seth Rogen and Adam Sandler?
No.
There's a great scene where Eminem plays himself and Ray Romano is playing himself, and they're at this party, and Ray Romano and Eminem get in this verbal argument, and basically Eminem scares the crap out of Ray Romano. And for that scene alone, I would love for you to see the movie.
Okay.
It's Eminem essentially making fun of himself and Ray Romano being afraid of that version of that.
All right.
So let me add on to that. The movie The Interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen. James Franco plays this really obsequious sort of interview host, and Eminem reveals that he's gay during the,
that's right.
the interview.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the movie.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned Victoria Beckham, her 50th birthday yesterday. Well, there's more on this now. It was an A-list celebrity party, and Tom Cruise made a bit of an impression at the party. The 61-year-old, who's longtime friends with the Beckhams, and is in town shooting Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, showed up dressed to the nines in a black tux and wowed guests apparently with his breakdancing move.
He can breakdance?
What it says in this story.
It.
I don't know if he was actually spinning around on his head or whatever, but apparently, according to this article, it said it left them absolutely dumbfounded. There's got to be footage of that somewhere.
And he's got moves in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. You're right.
But was he popping and locking, or was he breakdancing? Because those are two different things.
They are, and they may have gotten it incorrect in the article, because I have a hard time. And listen, he's a physical guy. Obviously, he does all those stunts, but I don't see him
doing the windmill and a
who knows?
A head spin.
The dude learned how to fly a helicopter, jet fighters.
Yeah.
I think if he wanted to apply that same learning ability to breakdancing, he could do it.
Yeah, and maybe he was holding on to it for Posh Spice's 50th birthday party. That's where I'm going to whip that out.
I'd rather see Clint Eastwood do it.
Now, that would be impressive. Yeah.
Step back.
All of a sudden, his foot flies across the room.
Oh, my God. Clint, you dropped this.
Yeah. All right, let me see. I know there's a story for sure I wanted to get to. Yeah, it was this one. So I had mentioned the Aussie series Bluey. They had a special, and apparently they set records with the recent special. It's called The Sign. According to Disney Plus, the special has drawn 10.4 million views globally in the first 7 days of availability. And it is also the most viewed Disney Junior episode premiere and biggest Bluey episode premiere ever on Disney Plus. Of course, the show is a worldwide phenomenon, ranking as the second most streamed show of 2023, according to the Nielsen rankings, with 43.9 billion minutes viewed.
So it's funny, not having kids. I mean, I keep up on pop culture stuff, but this thing just came out of left field, and then to learn it is this massive a hit.
Yeah, and they're gonna continue on with it, which is pretty wild. In a Netflix first, a live, unedited roast of Tom Brady by a panel of athletes, celebs, and comedians is going to premiere on the streaming platform on May 5th. It'll be hosted by Kevin Hart, and it's called The Roast of Tom Brady. It's part of Netflix is a Joke Fest, and it'll be streamed live on Netflix from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. So another live event.
So the key to this is going to be the comedians. They get to write the insults for the sports people. Because, most of them won't be writing their own stuff.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Once was enough for Mila Kunis, and she's apparently speaking for her husband, Ashton Kutcher, as well. At Paley Fest, E.T. caught up with Kunis and asked
Great to see you two again.
if we could expect to see her and Ashton in the upcoming season 2 of Netflix's That 90s Show. And she said no.
It's great to see you at Coachella.
Sort of abruptly.
You were there?
Yeah, I was. I was with Lana Del Rey.
Oh, I thought I saw somebody.
That was me.
That was you. Okay. So she responded no, kind of abruptly, but then explained no. I mean, we did our thing, and I think they introduced the son, right? She seemingly
I don't know what you're talking about.
believes the Kelso and Jackie story has been told, and it's time to focus on the next generation. So,
well, they had this recent show did pretty good. That 90s show, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's the one, but she's not going to be a part of it anymore. Former HGTV star Charles Todd Hill. I don't know who this is.
Neither do I.
Well, he's going to be in prison for 4 years.
Clearly, he's a criminal.
Santa Clara County Jail for multiple fraud schemes.
He's on the show Home Invasion.
No. Dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's on.
That writes itself, right?
Right? You want a show about homes?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hill.
This looks expensive.
He starred in the 2014 series Flip It to Win It.
Okay.
And was also ordered
Unlock it to rob it.
to pay back nearly $10 million for committing real estate and financial fraud against 11 victims.
Oh, okay. This guy does look familiar.
He was indicted in November 2019 after a DA investigation admitting to grand theft and other assorted scam-related charges last September. We go in and out of cycles with HGTV, and we're back in the in cycle right now.
I am as well.
Of just watching, just leaving it on, because it's a show you can just leave on and do other things and kind of keep an eye on.
What's your main go-to?
I like what's the one with the short blonde girl? Hometown. That one's fun because the couple's cute.
Aaron and Ben Napier. Yeah, I've heard of those guys.
And I actually like the one where the people win the lottery. And the one flamboyant guy with the tattoos all over him.
I love that guy.
He's great.
Yeah.
I love him. But I think it's kind of cool. These people have come into money, and it's a lot of times it's not millions and millions. It's they won a pretty good size scratcher, and maybe won like $150,000 or something like that, and they want to upgrade.
I agree.
And I think that one's kind of fun.
I do think it's good. I think they're both charismatic. They have had some where they've won like $2 million or $3 million.
Yeah.
But I almost more like the ones that are the $200,000. We're going to put this towards a house.
Yeah. So that's kind of a good one. But I've been lately in that mode as well. Let's see here. How about this? A new survey asked Americans which celebrity would get their vote for president. Who do you guys think came in first place?
Ronald Reagan.
Sergeant Slaughter.
The actor?
Sergeant Slaughter.
The Rock?
The Rock is way up there. He is...
is it Tom Hanks?
He's second. Tom Hanks is third.
Taylor Swift?
Not Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift should be on there, right?
Right.
You would think so.
Oprah.
Oprah
Scott
is...
Disick?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oprah is fifth.
He's a statesman.
If Tom Hanks is not number one.
Well, think of the majority of people. Who are some of the cast members of Bluey?
So number one, Denzel Washington.
You know what?
All right.
I think he'd get my vote.
Has he ever played the president?
Not that I can remember.
He played Nancy Reagan.
I'm surprised.
All right. Do you want your jelly beans now? But you got to ask yourself, do you want your jelly beans now?
What about...
Mommy, you look different.
My man.
What about Morgan Freeman? He's got to be on there.
He is not.
Now, he's played the president.
He has.
He led us through a meteorite.
That's right.
Collision.
Yeah, and then one of those Olympus Has Fallen movies, too.
Yes.
He's the president. He's been president at least twice.
Mm-hmm. So Tom Hanks. So it goes Denzel Washington, The Rock, Tom Hanks, Clint Eastwood, and George Clooney are tied. Then you have Oprah right behind them. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. He actually was, there was some sort of potential run for governor.
He was talking about
flirting
that.
with the notion.
And then the rest is all billionaires. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Mark Cuban.
That's what we need.
Yeah, right. That's what
that's what we need.
Mega billionaires, the most rich people in the world.
Well, Elon Musk, hang on. Is he American? Was he born in America?
No, South Africa.
Yeah, so he can't.
Yeah, neither can Bluey because he's Australian.
Yeah. Cartoon.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're ignoring these, obvious glaring
in a
things
world
here,
where
so.
Denzel's going to become president, yes, Bluey could become president.
All right, let me see one more little bit of tid.
Yeah.
And then we'll move along.
Big old biddies.
Oh, yeah, I need to make... I still love that term. So the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine came out yesterday. It was while we were on the show.
Sensational.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, they are really going to bring all of this, X-Men, Avengers, all this stuff together in this movie if the trailer is any indication.
So I'll give a nod to the comic book gurus, which I help them do some podcasts and the videos are up. But they were projecting a number of things that might end up in the movie, and they're right. But this is really, and I think Nick, you had mentioned as well, this is that meshing, that final joining between the X-Men and Avengers. It's going to be really cool.
Steve and I were both talking. It's like, okay, I'm now back in.
Yes.
You have if this delivers, you have officially pulled me back in because I've taken a break.
I've taken a huge break. I've been very disappointed with a lot of the stuff recently, and then this that excitement is back.
We've talked a little bit about how some of the Disney Plus TV shows have felt like homework, right, over the last couple of years.
Yes.
But Preston, I do have one homework assignment for you.
Okay.
Before Deadpool Wolverine comes out, revisit Loki, because they're going to spend a lot of time in the TVA in this movie to get to Wolverine.
TVA?
Time Varying Authority.
And
yeah. See, I've forgotten.
I know.
It's been a while since I watched that first season.
Yeah, Matthew McFadden's in this movie, and in Deadpool Wolverine, he plays Tom from Succession.
Yes.
He works for the TVA in Deadpool Wolverine. So
You're
little
right.
bit of familiarity with you for that.
Okay.
Will help you understand sort of how they get to this in Deadpool.
All right, I can do that. And I want to thank Steve and Casey for turning me on to Fallout because, my God, I've only watched one episode of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
And I didn't even play the game.
Yeah, and you don't need to.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you, you do not need to play the game.
Yep. All right, I think we're doing clip.
Yeah, buddy. You should have.
Clippies! Hang on, I'm looking for them.
Stay there.
Got him. So, Grand Cayman Secrets in Paradise follows super rich, up-and-coming locals and expats as they navigate bougie life in paradise.
I can't wait.
In this clip, Elizabeth Chambers talks about island strife.
It is stunning. It is pristine. And I know that's why so many people vacation here every year. That's certainly what drew me here. However, this lends itself to a bit more drama. So that show is really documenting different personalities and what this island means to all of us individually.
Shut the f*** up!
So there are no different personalities. They're all these shows are exactly the same. And you know, I was watching the coming attractions to this one, Preston. It looks like every other reality show of this nature.
Yep, and it's a moneymaker. So people keep coming back. A new episode of the Grand Cayman Secrets in Paradise airs tonight. You can find that on Freeform.
I was just realizing, is this? I think this is the actor's ex-wife, Armie Hammer.
Oh,
really?
I think this. I was just looking at her. I think Nick, could you do a quick check?
Armie Hammer and Elizabeth Chambers. There you go. There was a clip of them together. All right, next clip. Here we go. Shogun is set in the year 1600 at the dawn of century-defining civil war. In this clip, Mishka Ashbel talks about learning basic techniques of the time period like calligraphy.
It was so difficult because you're just using basically a painting brush. But right now we like to put our elbow down or, our whole arm is down. But back then you would have to just write it almost like you're floating. So it's just the tip of the brush that's hitting the paper. And that was really hard to write beautifully.
Yeah!
Shogun finale airs tonight on FX.
So my wife and I are watching this show. Shogun is sensational. And Preston, I watched a professor of Japanese history and study review the show, and he says it's uncannily accurate. They really went to great lengths to recreate a feudal Japanese, because it's based on the James Clavell book that was already made into a miniseries in the 80s, 70s.
Yeah, it was real popular.
Really popular. Well, this is really, really amazing.
Excellent.
It has a Game of Thrones type production.
Love that. All right, that is the Entertainment Report in a nutshell, friends. We have Hangry Bear Creamery stop by, and unbeknownst to us, we just heard the words ice cream, but they have brought things like avocado toast, pear and bacon grilled cheese, chicken apple brie sandwiches, Belgian waffle a la mode.
What?
Mama Bear's smothered waffle hash.
What?
Hello. So anyhow, they have stopped by, and we have giveaways that we are going to be throwing out to you at some point, and you can find them in Kennett Square, 660 East Cypress Street. So hangrybearcreamery.com. And oh yes, they brought, and by the way, Casey, it says on here, custom made ice cream flavors for show members.
yeah.
So we were supposed to come up with
No way!
Yeah.
custom
yeah.
flavors.
No way!
I guess I was the only one paying attention.
Shut up. All right.
No.
We're going to take a break. It was presented to us incorrectly. We're going to take a break, and we will be sharing the love this morning. We also have money to give away. We got the tattoo. Tell you about them when we return. Stay with us, please.
WMMR.
Want to throw some love to our YouTube community. You can always watch us on YouTube, PrestonandSteve.com. There's links to that, especially some love to Dead R2D2, who had written in. And they have a little community there. They chat with each other. Says, depression has been running high lately. Hopefully today is better. Not sure if work is going to help. So hang in there, bud. All right, we'll do what we can to supply a little bit of sunshine on this end if we can.
I was feeling a little low over the weekend. You know what I did, Preston?
What'd you do?
Hugging trick that you talked about last week, where you hug yourself for like 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. And it
helped out a little bit?
Yeah, it absolutely did. I was by myself, and I was feeling a little down, and I hugged myself and closed my eyes for 30 seconds, and I felt better afterwards.
So, listen, and that any tool that gets you there, as I said before, I use the concept of the watcher, me looking at myself, basically comforting myself, and then I actually made love to myself, which was the obvious.
Well, and then that's you loving you.
Loving me in the most purest way.
Yes.
And loving you is easy because you're beautiful, Steve. I mean, it's true. Yeah. By the way, when you hug yourself, Nick, do you caress with the fingers a little bit?
I sure do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well put some effort into it.
Might as well.
You are beautiful.
Hey, I want to mention this. Kathy's Cuts, Wigs for Kids, is coming up. It's Monday, May 6th, and we're doing great, but I think there's one of the locations that is a little bit on the thin side as far as getting sign up. So we want to put some direction there, right, Kath?
I mean, there's still some spots open in Mount Laurel and in Jenkintown. Ambler, there's a few spots left. They're pretty much booked, but the other two locations still have spots available.
Okay, so Mount Laurel and Jenkintown. If you've got spare hair to donate, we are calling upon you. And you can check out the guidelines at WMMR.com or PrestonandSteve.com. And keep in mind, you get a cut and a style.
There you go.
You get an awesome gift bag from True Beauty Concepts. You get the exclusive Kathy's Cuts t-shirt along with that as well.
Plus, you'll get to see either Kathy or Jackie.
Yes.
Yeah, which is cool. And it'll be part of the morning. We'll be checking in at these locations, which will be fun. But Preston, just on a basic level, anyone who's ever wanted to donate their hair to anything like this, you don't get this kind of professional level hairstyle after. In other words, it's not like they put your hair down on a paper cutter.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get treated with kid gloves, as they say.
Yeah, some events they just snip, thank you,
get out of
go
here.
along. So, but no, not this one. This is you get the full style. Yeah. So, Kathy's Cuts benefiting Wigs for Kids. Sign up now. Go to PrestonandSteve.com. So we want to make sure that we get those spots all filled up between now and then. So please do that. Nick made us aware of this next story. It has to do with a Yankees and A's game. This was on. Was it Monday, Nick?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yeah. Okay. So apparently, the Yankees manager Aaron Boone got ejected. And it was because of an interesting situation. So it began with leadoff hitter for the A's, Esteury Ruiz, was hit by a pitch, and it caught him on the foot. But the dugout, the Yankees dugout, thought Ruiz swung at it, and as a result, the manager Aaron Boone started, saying that he wasn't happy with it to the ump. And the ump's name is Wenstelt. Is that how you say his name?
I believe so.
That's a hell of a name.
He said, "You're not yelling at me." And he said, and you can hear this on the TV broadcast. In fact, we'll play a clip of it here. He said, "I did what I was supposed to do and checked, and I'm going for him. I'm looking for him to get hit by the pitch. You got anything else to say, you're gone." And one pitch later, he was ejected. And here's the deal. He wasn't the one that said it. It was a fan or somebody who mouthed off to the ump, and it gets the manager ejected from it, and then he blows his top completely. So we have some audio to play of this. Which one are we going to play?
There is you play the actual clip of the exchange.
There's ejected over fan screaming.
Yeah, this is it.
All right, here we go.
Is the first base umpire you saw making that call?
You're not yelling at me. I did what I was supposed to do and check. I'm looking for him to get hit by the pitch. You got anything else to say? You're gone. Okay?
Oh, okay, Hunter. Wow. You know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear.
Aaron,
there you go. And now Aaron's saying I didn't say anything.
You're gone.
All right, and then he reacts to being ejected. So here's that, and then they eventually cut him off.
I really didn't even go after Hunter. I was more upset that, on the appeal and I said, Hunter, you can call it too. And he came back at me pretty hard, to which I didn't respond. I just said, okay. Went down, and it's embarrassing. It really is it's embarrassing.
So, which leads to the conversation of, were you ever, did someone turn around and think you said something and it wasn't you? And maybe it got you thrown out or got you in a fight or caused a breakup or I don't know what, because there have been times where they think you said something and it was not you who said it.
Do you know what this is? This is part of a lifelong experience for just about everyone. When you're a kid, I didn't say that.
I know.
I didn't do that. And this kind of exchange, and then you go to the parent court, I didn't do it.
The most frustrating thing, one of the most frustrating things is being accused of something that you did not do.
Yeah.
And you're, but I didn't. I swear to God, I didn't do it.
God, it sucks your soul out of you because it's so frustrating. I didn't do this.
I don't even know where to start with this because, listen, I have been guilty of many, many things, but I have also been accused of a few things that I just did not do.
Before Casey begins his story, if you have one to share as well, this is your opportunity. 215-263-WMMR. Call us.
All right, so I have three that I'm thinking of, and I'll let you pick. Grade school, college, or postgraduate.
What's the one that was the most frustrating?
Probably college.
I like college.
Because I almost got arrested for doing something that I didn't do.
Okay.
And then B, I almost got arrested for contesting the fact that I didn't do what I was being accused of. Essentially what happened was I was at a fraternity party in a house, and these clowns that were partying too decided to go out into the street and light the street on fire with the gas.
Okay.
I had nothing to do with this. I'm inside the house. But these guys light the street on fire. There just so happened to be a cop there. The cop chases them. They run into the house. They run past me. I'm standing in this breezeway hallway, and the cop sees these guys run past me in the hallway. I don't know what's going on. Next thing I know, there's a cop in the window pointing at me. He's telling me, "Don't you move! Don't you move!" I was like, okay. He comes into the house and drags me out of the house. And
you had no idea what had happened at this point.
I had no clue.
Right.
I had no clue. Even when he's accusing me, I'm like, what are you even talking about? Now, what was very interesting, Nick, you and I had similar academic careers in college early on. Yeah. I was on the verge of failing out for semesters. This particular day I had just finished my final exams. I had just secured the fact that I was not going to fail out of college, and now I'm about to get arrested. Wow. Eventually, cooler heads prevailed, and I was allowed to walk away. But I didn't even know what happened, and I didn't know who it was until I went back into the house. And that was me.
Yeah, so I always, in those cases where there's a maelstrom going on like that, you can, I'll give someone the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I can see why you might be confused. But still, there are things like on this level, which just drives you nuts. And my question is, there are times when I've just said, all right, I did it. Because I'm tired, or all right, I said that, or I meant that.
Right.
That's I didn't. That wasn't what I meant. Yes, you did. No, I didn't.
God,
and it's a no-win.
I don't think I could ever give in and say, yeah, I did it. I just my
no.
I will not. My ego will not allow me to do that.
Well, I do it with full sarcasm, which is
which is why. And I don't want to get into the legal issues. I don't want to turn this into that. But that's why plea agreements have always been look, I didn't
Come
do
on.
it. Okay, but if you admit to this other thing.
I couldn't. In that case, I would go to the electric chair. I'm so stubborn. Norm Macdonald does a great bit about if he's caught, and the way you respond to that, using that sort of sarcasm, where, yes, of course, I slept with your sister. Yeah.
Steve, the fan yesterday that was yelling at the ump, he knew that he was the reason why Aaron Boone got ejected. So much so, he was wearing this blue pullover, and he took it off.
Oh, really?
So and then he ended up sitting there, the Yankees fan, in just a white T-shirt. Oh. So he knew He was the guilty party. He could have interceded. He could have said something, but instead he said, "Oh no, wasn't me. I'm taking my shirt off."
Would it have mattered though had he said
Probably
something?
not. But like he knew that he was caught, and he knew that it was his fault, and so he wanted to hide.
Do you get a fine when you? Did they get a fine for being ejected?
The manager.
Is there a monetary fine against the manager?
It depends.
I would imagine.
Sometimes they get ejected, and sometimes they get ejected, and then there's a fine afterwards.
All right. Meanwhile, Nick, the guy used to take his jacket off the rest of the game. He was like, "We're having a really good time here today." He's freezing his ass off.
In April.
Why are you wearing that wife beater?
All right, we got a bunch of calls. So I'm going to go to Jimmy. We got Jimmy on the line. Jimmy, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Jimmy.
Good morning to see you, Jimmy. What's up, bud?
Not too much. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
All right, when I was a kid in the 80s, I was like 12. My little brother was like 7. And we used to get dropped off at the mall unattended for hours on end.
Of course.
So we're running out of things to do. We ran out of quarters. We're done at the arcade. There's not much to do. So we're just standing on the second level looking over, just talking. And there's a guy down there, a maintenance guy, who's like mopping up some vomit. And, terrible job, I would imagine. Not the greatest, I guess. Anyway, we're just sitting there, and out of nowhere, my little brother decides to hock a loogie and lands on a dude's hand. And he promptly backed away from the railing, so when the dude turned around and looked up, all he saw was me.
No.
And then, tried to track us down for the rest of the day. It was.
Were you eventually caught, and did you face his wrath, or did you get away?
Yeah, he did. But he didn't say anything. He just he got about 10 feet away from us and was giving us that Buffalo Bill kind of.
God.
Was he crossing his legs to hide his penis?
And that's that's your brother move on you, man.
And that's brothers do that.
Yeah,
will set each other up all the time for that.
Yeah. Let's go to Tom. Hi, Tom. Good morning.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Yeah, bud. I want to hear your story. What's up?
So back in high school, I was accused of taking another student's MP3 player when he really misplaced it in his locker.
Okay.
And it got to the point where I wasn't going to, fess up to swiping it because I didn't take it. And in the hallway, there was those cork boards, those staple boards, where they would staple,
memos and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah. And the teacher wouldn't let me get to the other student for accusing me, so I ended up turning and punched the staple board and fractured my hand.
Oh. So you're innocent and you end up fracturing your hand,
injured.
Yep.
And so were you? So what happened when they discovered that it was only misplaced? Did they come back and apologize to you?
No, he didn't come back and say anything to me. I came into school the next day with a splint around my hand, and he just kept to himself and didn't come anywhere near me.
Oh man, I would have gone nuts. I would have done that Rambo thing, Preston, where you dip it into the broken glass.
Yep.
Your splint,
glue and
Yeah,
glass.
yeah.
Oh, that sucks, man. All right, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. We will go next to Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Hey, hi. How are you guys doing?
Good. All right. So, what did you have to take the blame for, which wasn't your fault?
Well, it wasn't me. It was a group of friends. We went to go see Slayer 30 years ago at this club. And two guy friends of mine are standing next to me. And one guy friend grabs this girl behind, really aggressively. And the other guy friend that's standing next to me gets smacked by her. She just turns around and cracks him.
Yeah.
But it was the wrong guy.
Yeah.
So him, and it was just so funny. His expression was just oh my God, what did I do?
So he had no idea. He didn't even know his friend that had grabbed the girl's butt.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't even know. Yeah. It was so funny.
Did you jump in? Did you?
No, I just started laughing.
It was too
because she knew both of them.
Yeah,
you can't. Point out the other guy. Wow. Yeah, that's
almost a standard.
Yep. All right, we'll go to John. Hi, John. Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, lads.
Yo, brother. What's up, John?
How's it going? So, a couple years back, I was down on vacation with my family in Florida to a certain resort. Everything was going fine, perfect. Vacation couldn't go wrong. And our last day there, we're packing up our things, getting ready to go, and all of a sudden, these 4 Magnum PI looking guys, the money, the look, and they call me. Like, yeah, like
we're losing. We're losing. Could you repeat that? We lost a little bit of that.
Oh, sure. They call me. They're like, "Hey, are you Johnny?" I'm like, "Yeah." They go, "Well, could we talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure. I guess something happened." So I'm telling my family. I go back down there. I walk in there. There's 6 state troopers, all these, detective-looking dudes. Like, the room is just full of all these people.
Okay.
I'm like, holy hell, what happened? So I walk in there, and they're like, "You're a sick man." I'm like,
what?
Where were you down in Florida?
There's a certain theme park.
Okay, with large rodents.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Happy place.
Yeah.
But then they're like, "You're a sick man. You did this to a poor cast member. How dare you? They're going to need counseling." And I'm like, "What? What's going on?"
So they were accusing you of one of the actors in the park of doing something nefarious.
Someone that had looked similar to me, and I was in the vicinity with a certain wrist thing that scans. Someone had did something, and to a cast member, something nasty.
Yes.
And apparently they pinged me, and I was like,
okay. So how'd you work your way out of this, John?
Well, so that was the thing. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't know what I did. I'm looking. My dad has the same name, so I'm like, maybe he was, him being a generic, Italian dad, being friendly to someone. They're like, nah, it was you, brother. I was like, what the hell? So I'm getting escorted out by 6 state troopers on this bus. Getting thrown onto the mirrors to go home. Families in tears. I'm sitting there. I'm like, it wasn't me.
How did it end up playing out?
And so we finally filed for appeal, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, whoops, we checked their cameras. It wasn't you."
Oh, maybe.
All right, hold on. Wait, I have a question, John. So they ended up throwing you out for the day.
Oh, for the entire vacation.
For the entire vacation. At what point did this follow-up happen?
About 3 weeks.
Wow.
Wow, man.
And they didn't reach back out to you to apologize. You followed up on them, and they said, "Oh, yeah, by the way, it was our mistake."
So they actually, they only sent me a letter that says you have been, unbanned. And I'm
you should have gotten a call. You should have gotten something. In fact,
free tickets for the rest of your life.
They should have given you a complimentary feel-up session with one of the cast members.
Wow. Interesting.
Many wouldn't have gone wrong.
Yeah, jeez.
All right, thank you, John. Appreciate it. Well, that's a bad one.
You're a sick son of a bitch.
What line did you want me to go to?
I like line 8.
Okay. Let's go to Randy. Hi there, Randy. Morning, bud.
Hey, good morning. What's happening?
Yeah, man. So we were talking about getting falsely blamed for something.
Oh, yeah. So I was in college, and we were in a auditorium class, and we were sitting up towards the top, and the class was just getting started. Everybody was settling down, and my buddy sitting next to me holds his wrist over his lap, and he goes, "Do you smell my cologne?" So I, not even thinking, leaned down to smell his wrist, and he rips one. And it's those, folding wooden seats, so loud,
yes.
And it echoed through the entire auditorium.
Yes.
And I can't help it. The guy got me, so I'm laughing uncontrollably. And, people are laughing, and the professor walks up, and he puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, "Don't worry, everybody does that." I'm laughing even harder. I'm trying to shake my head, and I'm dropping a lung laughing.
Oh, my God.
Right into the wooden chair.
He shrugs, and my buddy, shrugs his shoulders and points me like, "This guy."
That's terrific.
I can't take him anywhere. Oh, that's great, Randy. Thank you, man.
It's
Appreciate
good thing
it.
the professor had a sense of humor.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I thought he was going to throw him out.
Okay, let's go to John. John, you're on the air. Good morning, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man.
It's John from Yadens.
Oh, hey, what's up, John? How you doing, buddy?
So I'm at my daughter's lacrosse game about a couple years ago, and they were playing a team, from Long Island, and this dad from Long Island was ripping the ref. And the ref was a little overweight, so he was throwing everything at him.
Wow.
So he keeps walking up and down the sidelines, and we both had blue shirts on. So he stops next to me and starts ripping them again, and the ref goes, "You say one more word, you're out of it," just kind of like yesterday. And the guy said something, and he goes, "You're out." And they're pointing at me, and I'm going, "I didn't say a word. It said this is,"
Yeah.
And so the whole rest of the tournament, everybody's coming up. "Hey, I heard you got thrown out of a game." I said, "No, I did not get thrown out of a game."
So was there any recourse? Did they eventually admit that
Oh
it
no,
was a
that
mistake?
guy got thrown out, and then the next year we played the same team again, and I was looking for him, and here he got banned.
Oh wow!
There you go. See?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
there's something in me that would make me want to go, "See, I told you."
Yeah.
So there's rules with travel lacrosse that a parent has to abide by, and if you break that rule, like yelling at the refs or players or anything, they can not ask you to come back, or
Yeah.
So.
I would think maybe if you're a parent, they would throw you out and your kid out.
Yeah.
As a deterrent,
a punitive thing.
Yeah.
that would
So you don't
stop them. Yeah.
I really felt bad because the daughter was very upset after it.
I'm sure.
Like she was like crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That stuff. Oh, dude, stuff like that happens at kids' sports all the
it
time. Thank
sucks.
you.
Yeah.
John. I agree. Yeah. But I'll bet some people do get mistakenly thrown out because there are other jackass parents.
Do you know of anyone? There was a friend of mine who just looked like a lot to a lot of people. He looked like a lot of people.
Okay,
and he was always being assumed to be someone he was not.
Mm-hmm.
And I know of people, who just have that kind of look that they're the ones that get pointed out. It was him.
Yeah,
and it's
got
sometimes
that
it'd
face.
be great. Yeah, just that kind of face. It's like the It's Always Sunny episode.
Oh no, Dennis is a sex offender.
Dennis is a sex offender.
Kathy was in that.
Yeah.
A-hole.
My one word.
Yeah.
Here, you want to go to that similar call? I'm going to go to Sal. Hey, Sal. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good. What's up, buddy?
So, quick story. My dad actually registered for my little brother to coach his minor league or his little league baseball, and they did a background check, and I guess they found some guy with the same name who was a registered sex offender.
Oh, dude, Christ, terrible. Man.
Yeah, and they told my dad, they were like, "No, you can't do it. You're banned from registering as a coach." And my dad went through a whole appeal thing, and they finally realized as the season went on that it was the wrong guy, and they contacted him and said, "Hey, do you want to coach next year?" And he's like, "No, I'm not coaching for you guys.
Right.
You're completely kidding me. It's the wrong guy."
Hey, you know what though? Not for nothing. If it's the same name, and that I'm glad that league didn't take somebody until they were sure
that they were thorough.
Yeah.
Have you ever been the pitchman for a Subway shop?
Thanks, Sal. Oh my God!
What?
Oh my God!
Jared.
That's got to be the worst to be mistaken.
Oh my God! Well, what about people who have a similar name, on a terrorist no-fly list, and show up at the airport and are forever dogged? No matter what they do, no matter what they say they're going to do to expunge it, it keeps popping back up again.
It's not me.
It's not me!
I'll blow this place up.
I'll kill you all!
Bomb, bomb, bomb,
Ba, 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 ba. Take those sticks out of your hair.
Which call, Casey?
It's Mario.
Okay.
On line 7.
Let me.
I bet this involves
Mario.
Mario, good morning.
Presto.
Yo, what's up, buddy?
I just laid it out there. I said it. I said. Bitch. You'll find out why in a second here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm 17 years old. Let me set the scene for you.
Okay.
17 years old. I'm working at Lima Pizza. Delco.
Yes.
And the next thing you know, I get a phone call from my mom. It's a Friday night, and she's like, "Mara, where were you Wednesday? I need you to remember what you did Wednesday after school." And I'm like, "What?" I'm a senior in high school, by the way. I was like, "What? I don't know. I came home from school. Yeah, I don't know." "No, you need to figure it out. Who's this girl, such and such?" I'm not going to drop no names, but who's this girl, such and such? I was like, I have no idea. I don't even know a person like that. Well, her parents are in her living room right now saying that you picked her up Wednesday in the black car and that they haven't seen her since.
Oh, my
And I'm like, I said, what?
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
I was like, so now I'm confused because I'm thinking I blacked out and what? Like, what are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
So I was stressing hard. I wound up hanging up the phone because I couldn't remember. Wound up actually, I said to my mom, I was like, well, does she not have a boyfriend? Did they not seem to check around with other friends? I don't even know this girl. I met her through an acquaintance one time. once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
About 5 minutes later, 2 Upper Providence cops show up in the pizza place. They pull me out front and start playing good cop, bad cop with me, trying to tell me, like, where is she? You blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. And they're like, well, if we found out that you had any contact with her, you're going down. I'm like, oh, okay. I have no clue who this person is, whatever, right? Long story short, about 5 minutes after the cops left, I remembered where I was on Wednesday night. I had gone into the city to buy another car because my black car that they said I picked her up in on Wednesday night, that got totaled on Monday morning because a school bus ran over it.
Oh, my God.
So I wasn't even in the general vicinity of Delco.
Oh, thank God.
So
anything like that. I had a strong alibi with witnesses. I was, at that point, that's when I felt like I could breathe a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wound up calling my mom back and letting her know what's going on because I think this is before cell phone times. So I called the house phone so she could call these other people or whatever to let them know. Well, I got a phone call the next day at about 10:30 in the morning. This girl's mom, they found her. She was with her boyfriend who had a black car in Marcus Hook.
Dude.
Who do that?
Dude, that could have gone down. That could have gone down in so many bad ways.
I looked her straight in her ocular sockets. I just laid it out there. I said, I said, look, I'm happy that you found her. However, I think you went a little bit out of your way to go after somebody that she only met one time and not just, thinking about the close circle of friends,
No, it makes sense. But then, like Kathy pointed out, you're talking about a double-edged sword. You have parents who are worried that their daughter's been kidnapped. Like
Sure.
you could almost say, okay, I get it. So thankfully, but that could have gone way off the rails if they think,
absolutely.
if they
I was
think,
thinking it was going that way because that was my luck at the time. I'm like, this is not going well. It's not going to be good at all.
Wow. All right.
Anyway, hey, good, upstanding citizen of society now.
Yeah, there you go.
Good man.
Not a
There you go.
kidnapper.
All right, man.
Love you.
Love
All
you.
right, Mario. Love you.
Mario.
We'll see you, man. All right. One last call because Brian's been on hold for like 20 minutes. Let me go to him real quick. Hey, Brian. How you doing, man?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So, hey, it's Brian from Meetup. I'm the guy that brought a whole ton of people to dive, the belly flop.
I will never forget it.
Excellent. Hey, thanks, Brian.
Excellent, buddy. All right. What's your story about getting falsely accused?
So back in '94, I was actually down in Kentucky visiting a friend from my ship from the Navy, and we're all out at this bar having a great time, and we're all leaving, and I'm talking to a friend of his, and I said something to him, and apparently somebody on the other side of the car thought that I said it to them. Next thing you know, the guy on the other side of the car comes walking over. No idea who this guy is. The friend of a friend starts mouthing off to this guy. Next thing you know, punches are being thrown.
Oh.
And there must have been a bunch of people from like high schools or whatever that all knew each other. Next thing you know, there must have been 2-3 dozen people just wailing on each other everywhere.
Do you remember what you said, Brian?
I'll paraphrase. I basically, he was kind of jokingly crying about something, and I was like, wah, effing wah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so for some reason, somebody thought it was directed at them, at a different person, and that was enough to kick off this 3 dozen person brawl.
Dude, so
my God.
How did it end up?
So like I said, I was down in Western Kentucky. Next thing you know, the cops are all we hear is, hey, everybody, the cops are coming. I jump in a random car. Okay. I don't know who I'm with. I end up in some random place in the middle of I don't know, somewhere near Illinois, Kentucky, and it's 2 a.m. No cell phones, obviously. I have no idea how to get a hold of anybody. And thankfully, finally, about an hour or two later, somebody came by and
And said you had a pretty mouth.
Wow. All right, listen, Brian, love the story, but we got to wrap it up because we've got to get ready for the Good Money It thing. But glad you're alive.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you for coming to the Belly Flop. We appreciate it, Brian. All right. It can be insanely frustrating when you didn't say anything or you said something to someone else that was misheard and they thought you were talking to them.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you got to defend yourself over that. This is exactly what happened in the Yankees game yesterday. So I wonder, has the ump comment? They don't comment.
He has. And he basically denied it. He was like, no, I know Aaron Boone said it.
Oh, my God.
He didn't take any ownership on it at all. And Boone was just like, that was the guy.
Yeah.
Look, the dude over here.
But the guy who did say it has since admitted to saying it, correct?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you for sharing. We appreciate it. Hey, I want to give this away. We haven't even had any yet, but they got the food already from Hangry Bear Creamery, and they are in Kennett Square. They brought amazing food, and they have apparently incredible ice cream as well.
Woohoo.
But we're going to set you up. Caller number 16 at 215-263-WMMR. We'll give you a $50 gift card. They offer a casual all-day brunch sandwich and appetizer menu with Old Stone hard ciders and other Pennsylvania cocktails. And you can check them out at hangrybearcreamery.com. So while we're taking a break, we'll go sample some of the stuff. And we'll come back with your chance to win $1,000. So stay with us.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
I just want to point out something real quick from our friends at Hangry Bear Creamery who brought by breakfast this morning. Number one, I had probably the best avocado toast I've ever had, but Casey is eating a creation that is called Mama Bear's Smothered Waffle Hash. So it's cheese and potato hash browns that they put in a waffle iron.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they put sausage gravy on top of that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you need to talk to a priest?
I think besides the 3 days that my children were born and my wedding day, this is probably the greatest day of my life.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I need this avocado toast.
Well, let's refine that. Would it even supersede one or two of the kids?
I'm not going to say which one.
Okay. Yeah, because, you can't.
You can't
reveal.
No
who's
child
your
likes
least
to know
favorite.
that hash browns have
cheesy
eked them out of the
Eked them
top
out.
5.
All right, so anyhow, the food's fantastic. We'll do some more giveaways with them in a little bit. But in the meantime, we need to do this.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Delco Trimlight. You can visit delcotrimlight.com to schedule an estimate on installation of the coolest permanent programmable holiday lighting system around. We're going to start with an interesting story that has to do with our fair city. A recent Facebook glitch removed the ability to mark Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as a user's current city. It completely wiped Philly off of Facebook.
So with us not ending up on weather maps, on national maps, on Facebook, tell me this isn't a concerted effort.
This is what I was thinking too, Steve.
We're like the picture of Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future.
That we're just slowly
disappearing.
Sometime late last week, users started reporting the issue. If they previously had Philly listed as their current city, it had been removed. If they had tried to add it back, Philadelphia was not even an option.
That's great.
Only New Philadelphia, which is a small borough in Schuylkill County, was available.
New Philadelphia.
So the bug has been fixed, apparently. A spokesperson for Meta, Facebook's parent company,
It now says Vault 33 Preston.
from Fallout. Meta did not respond to other questions about the glitch. On Reddit, users reported the issue last week, saying, "We've been eradicated." And another user wrote, "We as a people have sworn off Philly due to your sports fans." That was a commenter that wrote that. While the glitch isn't new, it's certainly not the first time that Philly's been involved with a Facebook mistake. Back in 2017, I didn't know this, a system error mistakenly placed all Facebook users in Philadelphia.
What? Really?
So
So
we're
the
talking
converse.
about, yes,
Yeah.
millions and millions of people were officially
The hell's going on?
in Philadelphia. All right, moving on. A Harbor UCLA Medical Center surgeon who was accused of a variety of misbehavior, including some sexist and racist in nature, has been fired by the hospital. Dr. Louis Kwong, who was the subject of a lawsuit against the county filed last year, was terminated after a 2-year investigation that found he regularly gawked at the genitalia of anesthetized patients and never disclosed that he was being paid by a medical device company whose products that he was using on patients.
Didn't you kind of figure that stuff goes on anyway?
Yeah.
Kwong's colleagues told investigators that he, quote, looked under the surgical covers of black males who were under anesthesia and discussed, quote, the genitals of the day.
Oh, I can't let this get away.
And also discussed his favorite sex positions as his preference for autoerotic asphyxiation. Kwong also took more than $700,000 from a company that makes joint replacement and never reported that conflict of interest to the county.
You're a bad employee.
Kwong's discharge notice never touched on his alleged bringing of a gun into the operating room as well. Despite the complaints, which date back more than a decade, Kwong's alleged misbehavior wasn't officially reported until 2021. That comes despite NBC News reporting on text messages that show in 2016, the hospital CEO confirmed that the allegations against Kwong were, quote, very serious and that the facility's risk management unit was aware and involved. He is appealing his firing.
Yes, I'm sure everything will go in his favor.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there's about 1 million things, give or take, that could go wrong in the pursuit or execution of a threesome.
Yes.
And this event went down at an apartment complex in Monroe, Louisiana on Thursday night around 11:15. According to police, a woman looking for a threesome knocked on one of her neighbor's doors. When the man answered the door, he said the unknown neighbor forced her way inside. Once inside, the apparently horny woman tried to have sexual activities with him and his girlfriend.
Wow.
Instead of the
That's aggressive.
plot of an adult film playing out,
I thought you were going to borrow a cup of sugar.
the woman was turned away by the uninterested man and his girlfriend. He called the police.
Why don't you want it?
And a search for the threesome-seeking suspect was on. After leaving the apartment, her request for a threesome took her to a nearby Circle K, where police caught up with her.
You want to kiss me?
There wasn't any information provided to the police report about whether the suspect, identified as a 31-year-old Shadana Hurd, was still in pursuit of some three-way action. She was arrested and confirmed as a suspect by the male victim. While she did strike out trying to pull off an apparent random threesome with neighbors, the night was in a complete loss. She managed to collect an impressive list of charges ranging from felony for unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling and several misdemeanors for disturbing the peace.
She's approaching it all wrong. She starts by herself and tries to get an impromptu threesome.
Right.
You should have someone else, and then it seems like, okay, you've taken it one step towards this.
Correct.
But you're building from the ground up. It's much more difficult.
It's an uphill battle in some cases. A group of this is a good story. The video is wild. A group of Good Samaritans helped rescue a driver from a fiery car crash in Minnesota on I-94 last week. The State Patrol says that on Thursday, a Honda drifted to the right, left of the road, and then hit a light pole and a guardrail. And there's video that shows what they call a highway helper and other people in the area pulling on the doors to get inside. And eventually the driver was pulled out of the car through the driver's side window. So the door was wedged against the guardrail, both of them, and they could not. And the other side of the car was fully engulfed in flames.
Wow. Amazing.
And they are trying to get these doors open. And eventually this guy comes over, and I guess he had one of those little hammers that you can have that will break the window, and they got this guy out in the nick of time. There's a moment where it looks like it's going to explode, like a flame shoot out from underneath it. And
God bless these people, man.
Oh my goodness!
They were so emotional. They erupted into multiple threesomes, Preston.
Wow!
Oh,
and
man.
In the excitement, I can see that happening.
You know.
By the way, Sam Orbovich was the guy driving. He said, "I'm alive today because several Good Samaritans and professional responders saved my life. Several drivers pulled over, ran from their cars, tried to free me as my car was bursting into flames along the berm of the freeway. My airbag deployed after my car hit a lamppost and guardrail, and I came out just before the helper. I came to just before the helper broke open my window, and everyone pulled me to safety. I survived with only minor superficial injuries." It is incredibly heroic when people driving on the highway choose to put themselves at risk by running toward the flames to extract a stranger from a burning car that could explode at any moment. He said, "My family and I are incredibly grateful for these heroes, and I'm looking forward to thanking them all in person." But
amazing.
By the skin of his teeth, he made it out. Wow. It's
I'd
incredible.
like to treat you all to threesomes.
And that is all I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, so you got a little under 5 minutes left to enter the word ticket. That is our Good Money It keyword. Ticket, Ticket. Make sure that you enter that now. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. Don't forget a little bit later on, Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek Next Generation and many other things is going to be joining us. And we're also going to have Rodney and Erica McLeod stopping by, too. So we'll take a break, come back. More giveaways. Tattoo's Day, by the way. Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. Text the word tattoo to 39333. We'll do more giveaways with the Hangry Bear Creamery on top of all of that. So stay put. We'll be right back.
93.3 WMMR.
Yesterday, real quick, we spoke about the worst commutes in the country. And Chuck, our program director, said, yeah, I was sitting in one of those commutes while you guys were talking about it. I'm sure other people were. And right now, with all the backups that Kathy was reporting on, if you could destroy one stretch of road in this area, well, you only get to pick one.
Destroy it and just close up that thoroughfare forever, or destroy it with the intent of just out of anger. I gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, and with the intent of hoping that they would do something to improve
the
it.
Schuylkill Expressway for me, hands down, is the worst.
Yeah, I would agree. I can't think of anything worse. Me personally, I know there are that people have commutes every day that sit in something that's probably worse than that. But
do you know what I find more? So I agree with the Schuylkill. And I've been liberated because the 309 runs parallel, sort of, in a way, out closer to me now in Mount Airy, and that's much easier to travel. But the stretch that ends up pissing me off the most is the Boulevard.
The
but the Boulevard
starting.
I'm gonna defend the Boulevard for a second, because if something happens on the Boulevard, you've got the inner and outer lane. You can still travel past it.
I still find
Roosevelt Boulevard.
Boulevard. Schuylkill, something happens, you're screwed for hours.
Yeah, but there's sort of it's like when you're on death row. There's sort of a calm that comes over you, like you're not getting out alive.
I don't know, man.
They on the Roosevelt Boulevard. There's always I should have gotten off there. I should have.
Well, the Boulevard, I traveled the Boulevard for years for work. I would go from Bucks County here to City Avenue, and I would take the Boulevard. It was better than taking 95. I would sit longer on 95. And so I get it, but you can get there. There's so many side streets you can get around. There's stretches of the Schuylkill where you can't get off. Then you just sit there.
You just want to die.
I would do the Schuylkill from 202, from King of Prussia to the Walt Whitman Bridge.
Yeah.
All of it.
The whole thing.
Every bit of that.
There's the thing. What also sets the Schuylkill apart, because it's very similar, Kathy, you will know this, the Belt Parkway. Take the Schuylkill and multiply it by 20, and the Belt Parkway in New York is, distance-wise, it's just unrelenting hell. And that is, it is, no matter when you get on it, and no matter what time, day or night, at some point, you will slow down and start cursing. And that's almost a given.
Wait, is there any part of the Schuylkill that you don't mind?
Okay.
The fauna.
Like, is there a stretch where you're like, oh, it's never that bad here?
No. Are you talking about the traffic, or I have something to look at while I'm sitting here?
Yeah, it could be that.
I mean, taking a look at Manayunk is always kind of nice as you come around that corner and it opens up.
Especially at night.
And the hills and stuff. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, when there is no traffic along Boathouse Row. I enjoy that stretch.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of construction there right now.
Yeah,
I keep thinking about what you just said, Preston, and I can't find anything that I disagree with in between 202 and the bridge.
Last week I was going to see Dr. Mike, and I was the Waze took me to Montgomery to go out that way and to get on the Schuylkill there because there was traffic, and they're doing construction, and I'm in the merge lane to get on to the Schuylkill Expressway, and then all of a sudden it comes up to where we stop, and it's jam traffic, and then we have to do the little zipper. Every other person goes in and
people sometimes don't follow the zipper.
This guy in a truck and the guy he was with, they were going to work or whatever. They just got it in their mind they were not going to let me over. And I had put my blinker on and I started to merge in, and he leans on his horn, rolls on his window, and starts screaming at me.
Zipper! Wave high.
And I'm like, dude, I just got on. No, you did not. I saw you, blah, blah. He thought I was coming around and getting in the on-ramp.
You were accused of something you didn't do.
Yes!
It's our two topics today.
There it is.
It's our two damn topics.
There it is.
And you know what my response? I need to just shut up. I need to just shut up. I go live your crappy little life.
Yeah.
Go on, bud.
That's
Go live your life.
I would.
That's actually very inspiring.
Thank you.
I would rather crash my car in than not get if I'm next and it's my turn to go. I'll
Kathy,
crash right into your car. I don't care.
I will drive.
My
off
car
a
is
cliff.
old enough now where I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. You go right ahead. You want to keep moving? I'm going to hit you.
That's why I think it's wise to keep a gun in the car. No. Am I thinking this?
Grenade
am
or something?
Am I not thinking this through?
Well, I mean, there are parts that I think you have thought through pretty thoroughly, and I don't disagree with those parts. Preston, if you were able to wave a magic wand and erase for a day the Schuylkill Expressway and then rebuild it, would it be? Could it be better?
Wow. Yeah. Not without
filling in the river.
Well, no, I wouldn't fill in the river. I'd blow up some of those cliffs.
Yeah, right.
On the right.
And screw the houses
and
that are above
lose
those.
the train tracks.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be it'd have to be a double-decker in stretches.
I know, yeah.
Because there's just no place to put new road.
You would give cliffside property to Pierre.
That's true.
You blow a few holes. Therein lies the infinite, eternal conundrum with the Schuylkill is that you have nowhere. You got nowhere to go.
Hey, is there a stretch of road that is really bad, but it's not the Schuylkill, so you don't even think about it?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
All right, so if the Schuylkill didn't exist, this would be the worst.
I see. All right.
Stretch of
like
road.
I said, I think
Roosevelt Boulevard.
I
don't travel it enough to know what heavy traffic is like on that stretch road.
I
but
don't
know
mind
it's
it.
bad.
I really don't mind it though.
During rush hour, it's a goddamn nightmare.
It's just and the number of lights too. Like it's just incessant lights, and there, like Kathy said, like you can get off it. You can find other ways to travel, but you second guess if you should be in the outer lanes or the inner lanes. It's long, man.
It's designed so poorly, especially when you. I guess there was a time when, probably it was a great road to travel when you had to get out in the front of your car and turn a crank.
Right.
But right now, there's, ways to exit the road, like those off lanes where you're coming off the main drag, and they have that small lane to allow you into the side lane. That's only good for like 3 cars.
Who's the genius on the Blue Route that said, hey, let's make it 3 lanes for a little while, and then let's make it 2 lanes. And then let's make it 3 lanes again. And then let's make it 2 lanes again.
Swarthmore, Nether Providence. I mean, that was a negotiation.
F you.
I know. In order to get it built, they had to make that compromise with the state, with the Highway Commission, and it wouldn't have been built if they didn't reduce it to 4 lanes.
All right, if we're peeling off this Band-Aid here, I have to ask why there are some roads that seem in a perpetual state of construction, where I know for a fact that they paved a road, made it nice, made it drivable.
Okay.
And inside a year, they're ripping it up again into that Thanos chin style. It ripped
Grooves.
up elevated pothole, manhole covers. And I'd rather just wait until they can fully do it right rather than have this on again, off again where there's the uneven roads and then the huge metal plates and all of this stuff. It's just horrific.
Kathy, you'll love this. This is speaking to what you said earlier. It says, road rage people crack me up. I drive a $500 car. Try me. I'll kill us both.
Seriously.
I'll kill us both.
As long as you insurance is your stunt driving card.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Those BMWs come up on me. I'm like, go ahead.
Here we go.
They're doing that thing on 476 northbound now in between Villanova and the Schuylkill Expressway where they're regrooving it, I guess, or they're repaving it or whatever.
They've repaved a bunch of it.
Yeah, okay. Have they? Yeah. So
have they repaved it fully, or is it like half a lane paved?
Both, Steve. Yeah. So like right now, where I get on the Blue Route at the Villanova entrance, and then I get off at the Schuylkill Expressway, and there's so much regrooving, repaving, or whatever that's going on right now, resurfacing, that there's actually in the morning like a mist of debris that's caused by trucks driving up and down it.
Yeah.
So you're driving through this fog of sediment on your way to the goddamn Schuylkill Expressway.
That whole area over there, if you ever look on your GPS when you come into where 476 meets 76, it looks like the human circulatory system.
Yeah.
If you look at the way the roads twist and wind around there, it's insane.
It kills me sometimes. Like I know that there'd have been no way. For example, up in New York, you talk about the Bell Parkway. It actually, at one part of the Bell Parkway, it actually leads over a drawbridge. You're going in and out of what is arguably one of the major cities in the world, right? Yeah. And there's a drawbridge that can't accommodate a sailboat with like a 30-foot mast. So everything comes to a screeching halt. It's like,
that's unbelievable.
Could you have some vision here? And that seems to be that there seems to be no. Listen, God bless you if you're out working hard on the roads and that's your job. My heart goes out to you. But I think, who's the boss? Yeah. Who's not Tony Danza? Who's the boss? Who's overseeing all this? Because there seems to be no rhyme or reason.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring up something nicer. I'm sorry to
you got us all worked up now.
I know
Yeah,
and there are, trust me, there are people that are living this nightmare as we speak, listening to us. But I'm going to take us to a nicer place. I'm going to take us to Cancun, Mexico. I got this email. It says, "Good flight, Presbo. My name is Alex. I'm a loyal podcaster for the last 10 years from Cancun, Mexico. I was able to convert my best friend that moved to Puerto Rico years ago just by quoting you guys nonstop and mentioning all the craziness you guys do along with all the new music I discovered because of you. She is now a loyal podcaster too, and yesterday was her birthday, and I forgot, and I know I got no excuse, but I am sure that a shout out from the best radio show ever could help my apology. As long as you do it between today and April 21st of 2025, we should be fine."
Right. That's a good pocket.
Her name is Gloria Ruiz, all the way in Puerto Rico. And also, if I could, I would like to a shout out to Marissa and all the interns that do so much behind the scenes to complement your show and provide you with the tools to be such an award-winning Hall of Fame, fart-ringing hell of a show. You guys rock. Thanks a bunch, Alex, but you can call me Francisco because that's fun to say, he says. So here's a shout out, and that is to your friend.
Francisco, that's fun to say.
And then this is to Marissa and the crew here as well. So thank you. That was really cool.
I love this, and we'll get these emails and people from around the world who listen. Yeah. I used to love when we had that map up. Yeah. I guess it's old tech now.
It is old tech.
Yeah. We should probably broadcast live from Cancun.
Were we in Cancun?
We were in Tulum.
We were in Tulum.
So the Riviera Maya, I guess, is the general area.
Right. I mean, that's where someone stole your sunglasses, Preston.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he caught the bastard who found
it. Who's the dead man? They're on my forehead.
On your face.
Speaking of wonderful places to be and vacations, there was a survey that was done, and I thought this was kind of interesting. And according to a new survey, 20% of Americans are always thinking about planning their next vacation while still on vacation. Saying 20% of people who are on vacation are thinking about their next vacation.
I'm guilty of that.
Me too.
Well, it's why those resorts will grab you and, try to get you to book for the next year. They give you like a significant discount if you book while you're there.
But not only that, I'll think of not coming back to where I am. I'll be like,
other places.
Hey, the beach is great, wonderful. Want to do the mountains next year?
Yeah.
You start to you just start to get into that mode.
We, I think for the first time ever, we're going to be away, or we're going to try and go away on Christmas. And I don't know where we should go. Obviously,
planning your summer vacation. I've been throwing that pitch for years, and nobody in the family wants to do it but me.
Yeah. What is this? I missed this.
Go somewhere for Christmas. Go vacation for Christmas.
So I would love to go to the Schuylkill.
Oh, for Christmas?
For Christmas. Spend it just commuting back and forth.
Case, are you looking like for warm Caribbean weather?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it's going to be, it would be me and my family and my mom. So what is that, 6 of us total? Somebody do the math for me, please.
Yes, okay. Kids.
You have 3 children.
Does your mother qualify as a carry-on?
And since we saved my mom $4,000 on car insurance, she's paying for her own way.
Yeah, she owes you.
Her treat.
Yeah. I've shared this before, but we did that as a family vacation one year, and that was the present for everybody.
Where'd you go?
We went to Mexico. We went to Cabo, and we flew on Christmas Day. It was one of the best Christmases I've ever had. It's a totally memorable family vacation, so I cannot recommend it more highly.
Okay, so my brother and his family, they're going to like Italy and Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of freed it up for everybody because they weren't going to be around for Christmas. So Christmas was big, for everybody. We're not like the only ones who get together on Christmas, but because they weren't going to be there, I'm like, oh, we could go do something. Yeah.
Case, my friend surprised her kids with a trip on Christmas morning. We leave tomorrow. We're going, I think they went to, I forget, Bahamas or something like
Swingers
that.
and a grill.
They hated it. They were like, we leave tomorrow. And both kids were like, no. It's Christmas, our presents. We don't want it. Like
How
one,
old?
one of the kids actually cried because she had to leave.
Second year of college.
It was last year, Nick. They were probably like 11 and like 8.
Yeah, see, that's borderline. When they get into their teens, they don't care as much about whether or not Santa's able to make it to Mexico. You know,
Well,
like
you're afraid he won't be able
now.
to. You're afraid he won't be able to find you.
Yeah,
I still am.
Yeah, but like the older you get, the more you realize Santa can find you anywhere.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And Santa doesn't have to bring Transformers. Santa can bring a scuba mask.
Your presents will be there when you get home.
That's exactly right.
That too.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Don't
You're
worry about it.
Still gonna get it. It's all
Santa
good.
comes anyway.
But that's kind of cool that my brother's going to be in Europe for. You know what I heard about Europe is that they
Whole
don't
different languages.
Well, in the English speaking languages of Europe that they don't smile. They scalometer.
Come on, you didn't know that was.
You knew it. I knew it was a joke coming, but I don't get it.
Yeah, wait. I don't need
Smile versus kilometer. Mile.
Mile.
Kilometer.
See, I have to think too hard.
You didn't have to think that hard.
I did. I knew that was coming, by the way. That one you tell me. That one you tell me.
The body language is there.
Yeah, I know.
So the poll of 2,000 U.S. adults who travel.
Kilometer.
They have foot instead of some meters.
The average American spent 11 days on vacation in 2023, and they want to spend 15 days on vacation in 2024.
I think, people just need the break. You guys are more like I think I'm a bad vacation person. I started to come out of that as far as
You had fun on your last one.
You love vacation. You just are hesitant sometimes.
I
And
am.
When you do it,
and I don't
you
know
love
why.
it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that like once you commit to something, Steve, because last year, for example, when you committed to doing that river cruise, you loved talking about it in advance. You loved it while you were there, and then you've talked about it since. So once you get in your mind,
the trick is reminding you. The trick is reminding yourself how you felt leading up to it. Because I always feel like I don't know. I should probably because I'm also a blacksmith. A lot of people don't know that.
But you get pretty anxious, I guess, leading up to it, and then but onch you're in it,
once the door on the airplane closes, and then you're good to go.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to do
the
a
bus.
I think I'm going to do a cross country drive and then fly home over 4th of July because we have a few days off on either side of that. So I think I'm going to drive to Denver and then fly home. Which I've never done before.
If you're talking about the Christmas thing, my father before it was a thing he did not get to do before he passed, and there was always something that now I think I want to do it, which is that you can do that like that river cruise that we did with this company Tauk, and Viking has them as well. You can tour the great Christmas villages.
Oh, yes.
And towns along the Rhine. And,
I saw that.
Right. So, I mean, you're getting all the Christmas, but you're getting it on steroids.
Next level. I did see that. And I, for a minute, thought about that. I'm like, okay, that would be a good holiday trip.
Surprisingly, it's not horrifically expensive. And it's, you get a lot of bang for your buck.
I want sand, beach, cocktails for Christmas. That's what I want.
You get a box that has all that in it.
All that in it. No, like the picture of Pierre. Is it still out in the green room of him on the beach holding a margarita or whatever, standing in the water? That's what I want to do.
All right. Then,
Act crazy wearing the Santa Claus hat.
You want to do that with us this year?
I don't know.
No, do you think you would travel well with Casey and the family? Would you guys?
Yeah. We'd have a good
you'd
time.
pair well?
Sure.
Yeah.
Casey and I have traveled before together, and I think our families would get along just fine.
And I want to find a place that has golf near it so I can play at least one round of golf. I'd like to do that. I think Seamus would like that as well. But, Press, I don't know. Just somewhere exactly what you're talking about. Warm, clear water, all that stuff. So I don't care if it's Riviera Maya. I don't care if it's... I keep hearing about
Caribbean.
Punta Cana.
They got golf courses in Cabo. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, but Cabo is the water rough there?
Not necessarily. No, you can. There's snorkel and scuba.
What about snookle?
You can scuba there.
Snookle.
By the way, if in this survey,
I'm just interested. How hard is your water?
Is
your sand like flour?
According to this survey, if they had unlimited paid days off, vacationers would want up to 18 vacation days. I think you're shooting way low on that, folks.
18.
Well, in Europe,
unlimited,
they clock off. They're on holiday for a long time.
So my sister-in-law is going overseas, and they go in August because their family has the month off.
Yes. And some people, so I have Swedish relatives, Rochelle does, and they get like 6 weeks. And some will take it all in one shot.
Yeah.
So
and that's fairly common.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
When they do that, have they totally burned up their vacation time, or do they also have vacation breaks throughout the year?
Don't know.
Yeah. So my cousin, a different cousin, worked for a European company. She was based here in the United States, but she worked for them. They were overseas. She would have to travel overseas for work, but she got off the same as they did. And so summertime, I mean, she had weeks and weeks off, and then she got her normal vacation throughout the year. So she had something like I want to say it was something like 9 weeks of vacation.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And
I mean, so.
And then she would travel over there for.
Could you take? I get antsy after a certain. I'm like
1,000%. I could take 9 weeks.
I envy
off.
you. I get so antsy. Like I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know. I whatever level of guilt I have, I should probably be working.
I don't care if I deserve it or not.
Kathy,
I'll take it.
One of the potential most beautiful things that didn't happen was when we left Y100 and we came to MMR. We had a 6-month non-compete clause in our contract that said we weren't allowed to work in another
You were gonna,
radio station in the market for 6 months. I'm like,
rest.
I get a half of a year of doing nothing.
And then what happened?
Bill calls us a week later and says, we're going to court. We need you guys to testify to get out of your non-compete
And you guys were
clause.
there
I'm
for like hours and days, right?
Oh my God, deposition.
Preston led off with like an 8-hour deposition, and I followed up. It
was horrible.
And I said anything he said was a flat-out lie.
It worked out different for us. I worked for about 4 hours, 3 days a week at the Sixers, and drank and shopped the rest of the time.
I made $60 a week on unemployment.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
So here are some more stats about vacationing. Yes, 20% of people think about vacationing while they're on vacation, thinking about their next vacation. Some travel conditions are less than ideal, and 23%, sharing a hotel room or having a small hotel room is a deal breaker.
Sharing, what does that mean? With who?
Somebody other than your spouse, I guess.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Why don't you sleep on the floor, Gary?
Respondents say their dream hotel room would include Wi-Fi.
Okay.
All right. You got me there.
A private balcony or outdoor area.
Yeah.
A large bedroom and a full-sized kitchen or kitchenette.
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm not
What
using
about
that.
roaches?
Yeah.
And
I just need someplace. I just
need someplace to cook.
Yeah.
I always cook for everyone when I'm away on vacation.
Cooking on vacation.
I love having the kitchen in a suite.
Like
It's
for
the best.
breakfast and lunch. It's really nice. And then go out for a nice dinner every night.
Kathy, when you have a place and you have a stove, you can put your jacket on it.
Or Nick, I like to go out for a good dinner, a good lunch, and a good
I
breakfast.
see. All three.
But you need to have some snacks in the
No, I
fridge.
know. I get it.
I will tell you this. Again, I say this all the time. If you can, I learned it a while ago. It's not frivolous. Save up, whatever you have to do. Get. I think the best hotel you can get. Because as I said before, if you show up and wherever you've gone to, maybe it's raining or it's not quite what you thought it would be. If the hotel is good, at least you have that.
Yeah.
I have a great place in St. Petersburg you guys should check out. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I will tell you about
We're not going to take your recommendations ever.
Not
Yes,
expensive?
I was promised 8 cockroaches. I really counted 6.
Oh,
You check under your pillow?
And you're going to guarantee I'm going to get syphilis, correct?
Horrible. When
Do you want one of our leprosy suites?
When the vacation is over, 21% admit that they want to be on vacation again the day they get back, while that feeling sets in within a week for 27%.
So I am a big fan of the extended weekend. Hopefully I'm going to train myself more to take regular vacations. Am I the only one who really loves those, or
As
Just
opposed
a long weekend versus
long weekends? Yeah.
instead of vacations?
Yeah, sometimes.
I like them a lot,
Yeah.
but I think vacation's more satisfying for me personally.
Yeah,
I don't know.
agreed.
But I do like returning from vacation with at least one grace day of nothing. If you come back on Sunday and go to work on Monday,
You need time to wash the hotel towels.
no, but I would prefer to get back on Saturday.
I gotta have a buffer day.
Got
I
the
don't know
rest of
how
the day.
Pierre goes.
Oh man,
red eye,
forget it.
here. I don't. There's no way I could do that.
I mean, we've done that.
And not even go home.
We've done similar things, like when we went to London. We got right off the plane. We went right to the boat and did the broadcast.
And we were immediately knighted.
That was tough.
But it was kind of cool.
It was cool.
We were on like a mission, you know?
Agreed.
I felt like The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get off the plane.
We were
get
like,
on
go,
the
let's
thing,
go, hurry.
go.
Did we get there in time to?
We did. We actually got in time. I remember clearly we walked in, plugged in my iPad, it exploded, and then we started the show.
Yeah, you had problems with that.
We had roughly 45 minutes to an hour. We got there before the show started.
Yeah, but that British time is 1 minute is 30 seconds.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It's kilometer.
How many kilometers was it?
I'm an idiot because I didn't get that.
No, I didn't get it.
Okay, good. All right. Well, anyhow, if you're on vacation and you think about your next vacation, you're not alone. 20% of Americans are always thinking about planning your summer vacation. I was hoping you'd play that. All right. Anyhow, we do need to take a break because we have a list of guests that are going to be joining us here shortly. We're going to have Jonathan Frakes, who you know from Star Trek Next Generation, on the program, and Rodney and Erica McLeod are stopping in because an event is coming up. But we have the Hangry Bear Creamery crew here with us this morning. Man, do they bring a spread for breakfast. And they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you can find them in Kennett Square on Cypress Street. Their website is hangrybearcreamery.com. And they brought us, Casey got custom-made ice cream.
So what did you say about the avocado?
It's probably the best I've ever had.
Casey, what was the actual the waffle-like item you had that
what
made
was
you
it
want
like-
to abandon your family?
Here, I got the name.
Okay.
Mama Bear's Smothered Waffle Hash.
Okay.
Oh, mama!
It's waffle, cheese, and potato hash browns. Like they did it in a waffle iron and then sausage gravy on top of that. It's brilliant.
Love it.
So let's give away a $50 gift card. We'll take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. And by the way, you can book an ice cream making studio session to make your own custom flavor for your next birthday, team building, or group gathering. You can book now at hangrybearcreamery.com. Pretty awesome deal. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second and get our guests on the program and more chances to win money, too, as well. We'll be right back.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. There's an event coming up on Saturday at the Community College of Philadelphia, and it is called the I Am Youth Leadership Summit event. It's the third annual one, and that means we have our yearly visit from the McLeods who are here this morning. Please welcome Rodney and Erica McLeod to our show. Good to see you guys again.
Man, great to see all of you on this lovely morning.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we were just commenting how we can't go a year without seeing you guys.
We have to make sure we come in and give our well wishes and see what spread you guys have.
Yeah, the food.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that's in the rider for Rodney and Erica. We have to have fantastic food whenever they come by.
In fact, you just created the charity to come in for the food.
We're going to talk about the sneaker ball in a little bit, too, because that's another thing that we always talk about. But this event is really cool. So it's a youth leadership summit. Tell us a little bit about it for those of you. I know it's the third year, but whoever wants to take it, I think you're looking at Erica, right?
Yeah, I'll let you take it.
He's giving it to me because it's my baby. No, I'm just kidding. Well, so our youth summit, we have it every year. This is our third year hosting it. We're back at CCP, but it's a way for our high school students to connect with other students, but then also feel empowered because it's a way for them to learn professionally in their lifestyle. Where can they take the next step? Where can they dream really big? Get really curious about how to become a leader, how to build their confidence. We're really leaning into how the power of your story can really help the next person. But then also it's just a way for us to let them see incredible professionals in their communities and connect with them that are in STEM careers, entrepreneurship, business. What else do we have? We have media. And it's a way for them to say, hey, I never really thought about this career field, but this is really awesome. And these are the steps I need to take. So we have that career fair for them to meet some of these other businesses and then build out their resume. So it's a fun day worth of events, but just empowering them through, affirmations, knowing that like I am smart, I'm confident, and I'm going to be the next boss.
All right,
scholarships. And we
have scholarships. Don't forget the good stuff.
Well, you said the active word, which is fun because if you're in high school and you're told this is this is an event where we're going to pave your future. Now, some of them respond and go, yes, I'm smart enough to know that that's something I need to be thinking about now. Then you have someone like me back in high school.
Yep.
There needs to be some snacks or something, something to draw me in a little bit. But the word fun, I think, makes it the action word on that.
Yeah, we have a nice spread. We got Wingstop.
All right, good.
So that'll bring you. That'll bring
for sure.
Yeah, we got Saxby's for breakfast. We got a DJ. So
great.
We make it fun.
Okay.
We meet them where they're at, and they have a good time.
And it's co-ed, so if they're still looking for a prom date.
That part. So what kind of business professionals are going to be there spreading their knowledge?
Yeah, so we have a very dense group of employers, very well-rounded list. We have Wingstop, of course, who will be there. We have Jesus Christ.
What again? Rodney's called me and asked if I could come.
Oh, my God.
And of course, they're so generous. Don't mind the holes in my hands.
I want to go to this.
That is terrific.
Jesus Christ.
And I want to bring out a special. Moses, come on out.
That's not an easy ask.
Moses, everybody.
Jesus and Moses.
Please, everyone, part down the middle. Moses, he's coming out here. Okay.
We have Touchdown Ventures, which is a venture capital group. So they'll be there giving a lot more information on what they do and how students can get involved. We have CCP representatives there for the college admissions. We have an AV group as well.
Yeah, so this is a sort of thing where, listen, if a high school student is listening right now, they're not like thinking about going. So the parents, send your kids, because we've sent our children to things like this. Sometimes they go, scratching and clawing, and then when you go and pick them up at the end of the day, they're like, I just met Jesus. I just met Jesus and Moses. Didn't even know Moses was going to be there. Jesus brought him out. But they end up having a good time, and so they they see their peers, and so you have like student leaders as well, and those people are really, really important. So my son, he's a junior in high school right now, and we're trying to get him started early with this stuff so that when he is a senior, he can become the student leader, right? Mm-hmm. And when you see these other students lead, it teaches you how to lead, right?
Yep.
Example is everything, and I think so many. I knew from early on what I wanted to do. It would be something having to do with comedy or entertainment or something like that. So I had a bit more direction, but I'd see my friends who didn't know exactly where they wanted to go. And then when they met that one impressive person, and they heard that one person who might have been a peer who seemed to have the key, and that would light the fuse, and then they were off and running. So sometimes, just as Casey says, maybe it's a fight you tooth and nail on it. But once you get in front of someone who tells an impressive story and opens up possibility, then you're off and running.
I want to point out this is a free event, right?
Always, yeah, it's free.
That's great. And is it an all day? Like you come and you stay for the whole thing, or do you come in and out?
We ask them to commit for the entire time. So 9 to 4, and registration will kick off around 8:30.
And I assume you're going to speak to the crowd too, right?
Yeah, we both take part in that. I'm actually running one of the workshops in the morning, doing a Power Your Story workshop, and Erica's also leading a
gender
room.
table talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Very cool. Yeah. So we've been doing it for a couple of years, but have you gotten any people coming back to you and saying that it made a difference to them, that having this exposure really helped them along?
Yeah, this year we actually have 2 student ambassadors. So these are what we call our alum of the IM Youth Leadership Summit, and they have their jackets to showcase that they've attended the previous years, and we've allowed them to voice, how much the summit has impacted them and how much they're looking forward to it. So I think the one student, a young lady, this would be her 3rd year, so she's attended every single year.
Very cool.
Parent has also, sent us emails saying just how proud they are of what we're doing, and they love, bringing their child to the event. So it's impressive just to see some familiar faces and then also building new ones.
By the way, the information is changeourfuture.org. We have a link on PrestonandSteve.com. Do people need to register, or do they just show up and go?
Yeah, if you register, go on to changeourfuture.org. It'll bring you to our Eventbrite link. We have over 150 kids signed up already, so don't miss the mark. It should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Rodney, I wanted to ask you a sports-related question, if you don't mind. And I'll preface this by saying that I understand that referees and umpires are human beings that are fallible. But the question, it's a two-parter. Did you watch the Sixers game last night? And how angry did you get at referees during games when they missed calls over and over and over again?
I did watch the game last night. And I think we all thought it was going to be a different outcome with like 20 seconds left. And yeah.
I mean, look.
There's a talk of the town right now.
It is. And that's your job is affected by somebody else, right? And that's what you do out on the field. And so I get that refs make mistakes. But and I don't blame them for the mistakes. But when it's so heavily in favor of somebody else, it's just like when you're on the field and you're seeing bad call after bad call, does it get under your skin? Do you just, what is your mindset when that happens?
No, it's very challenging as a player, to for the referees to hold the game in a ref's hands, pretty much, and that's what happens in those moments, and so it's frustrating. You can't allow their their decisions to affect how you continue to proceed in that game, right? Or even in that moment. It's part of it. We knowing that, they're human beings. They're going to make mistakes. They're just going to be errors. But how do you kind of counteract that? But it's unfortunate, in that moment that they don't necessarily make the right call when it's needed.
Do you subscribe to the notion that at the end of it, when it's all said and done, so sometimes it breaks your way and sometimes it doesn't, or is that just a bunch of crap?
No, I think it is.
Okay.
It's very just human error.
Yeah.
But Philly has unfortunately been on the wrong side of some of these calls, right?
It seems like
it's
a lot.
a trigger. It's a trigger right now.
Yeah, it is.
Have you ever felt bad that it broke your way?
No.
You know, one of my favorite things.
I'm like, you're like, ooh, we got away with that one. Yeah, I'll take it.
One of my favorite sayings in all of sports is "ball don't lie." I love "ball don't lie," and that means, Preston, when something doesn't necessarily go your way. Let's say an interception was called back, and then on the very next, called back on a bad call, and the very next play they intercept the ball again.
Yeah.
They say "ball
It's
don't
meant to
lie."
be. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And there is a notion that says, don't let the game fall into the hands of the referee. So, and I know a lot of those guys that were playing last night, they're like, no, we shouldn't have ever even gotten to that point where a referee can dictate the outcome of a game.
Yeah.
What I recommend you do is either play a sport or follow a sport that you don't know all the rules, and then you won't even be disappointed.
Yeah.
My son plays rugby, and I have no clue what's going on. I'm like, why did they lose the ball there? How come they didn't get what's going on? All right.
Cheering for no reason.
Yeah.
You can be dispassionate. It won't matter.
Yeah.
My son just started playing ice hockey, and at one point he was in the penalty box, and we were like, what did he do? What happened? We had no clue. And that was like one sport I know nothing about. So I feel like
that field hockey. You're like, what? The ball went off the ground and they stopped the play. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I don't know the rules, so I guess I can't get mad.
Erica, I wanted to ask you, you were the subject of one of her stories, correct?
Yes, I was.
What kind of spread does she provide with the show?
I sat on the other side, just so hungry, making sure not to crunch.
We had a nice conversation. It's the podcast link is up on WMMR.com. I really did enjoy talking to you and hearing Erica's story. You got, of course, you hear Rodney and I think of you, but I didn't know your story and what you were about until I got to talk to you. So it was really nice.
She was telling us about a concussion incident that you had, and you went into a full concussion protocol, and so you relay that during the episode. But is it something you deal with? The residual results of that?
Yeah, it's been almost 10 years, I think, since my concussion, but you just see so many post-concussion lingering side effects that I'm so much better now than I was earlier on. But it just brings a whole different light to some of the questions you ask, like how do you watch sports and see some of these concussions and how quickly the guys get back on?
That's the point where you say, well, I'd love to answer, but I'm so famished I can't even think about it.
I had a friend who unfortunately, she was at her kid's basketball game. An errant pass hit her in the head, and she had been, it was for years and years and years, just from sitting on the sidelines of a youth basketball game.
Jeez.
Yeah, it can be unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm taking a look at the Change Our Future website right now. You guys have got a lot of stuff coming up this year. You have the 10th Annual Youth Football Camp in June, the 4th Annual Sneaker Ball, June 20th, and then you've got Thanksgiving Drive. You got all kinds of stuff on there. The Sneaker Ball, how far into that is this now? Are we a ways off from tickets and things like that?
No, tickets are live.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Look at you juggling events.
Go to change right. Go to changeourfuture.org right now and sign up. We were just talking about Sneaker Ball before we came in here with Marissa, just about the experience, the ambiance, the attendees, just the overall vibe that she gets when she's attended, and it's always just a fun-filled night. But more importantly, it's a great gathering of individuals who are looking to make a difference in a child's life, and so for us. It's just overwhelming to see the amount of support that we've been able to receive in our young years as an organization, people believing in the mission, and it just allows, that night just allows for people to connect.
Yeah. So the event is on the 20th. Where is it going to be?
June 20th, the V.
Okay, V.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? So I'm a grown adult, and getting a new pair of sneakers is still just as exciting.
Oh my God, I love it.
When you're a kid. So my buddy,
so fast.
My buddy Jeff, I swear to God, he would get a new pair of sneakers, and he would have his sister time him running from the firehouse to his house. It's roughly 100 yards, and I think that's so funny and so cute. And
to break him in.
He just wanted to see if he was
faster.
Just wanted to see how fast.
I'm so much faster now because of these shoes.
He believed all the hype.
Yeah.
What's your most with your collection? What is your? Don't even look at that. Don't even breathe near the.
Yeah, your
pair.
Louis the 13th.
Yeah. Yes.
What's my favorite?
Yeah, your favorite pair. What just is? I don't even want to get anywhere near them for fear of scuffing them.
I think I've grown kind of out of that phase. I know how to walk in my sneakers.
Yeah.
I know places where to avoid. Yeah. So I'm very skilled in that department. Then I also got a good cleaning system too, just in case.
What's your favorite pair?
Yeah. But my favorite pair is probably my Scotts. I would say my Travis Scotts. They're just a classic. The ones, I'm a Travis Scott fan in general. So then, when he came out with shoes and clothing, I became a fan of that as well. And
hey, what's the deal? My son went and saw him at the Wells Fargo Center this year.
Cactus Jacks.
Well, he does the same song like 5 or 6 times, and my son went crazy. And I guess in Philly he did it 5 times, but at another venue he did the same song like 12 times, and the place went berserk. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know the theory around that.
Okay,
but probably people can't get enough of it.
I guess so.
You gotta keep
My
playing.
guess is
the reaction is.
Yeah.
He'd had a concussion at some point.
That part.
And he forgot that he did the song.
Yeah.
Triggering.
Travis Scott's the one who does the roly-poly on my wrist.
That's right.
That lyric.
That guy.
I always make fun of my son because he plays me, Travis, a bunch of music, but he's got that one lyric where he talks about roly-poly on his wrist. And I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm like, he's the
An
only one.
auto-tune.
Yeah.
voice.
Roly-poly on my wrist.
We never got the audio clip of that.
Maybe we can grab that in a second. So I listen. I have a almost 17-year-old son, so the sneaker culture has entered its way into my house these days, and I'm got my eyes on the new Donovan Mitchells that are coming out. I think in the fall. Have you taken a look at these at all? Oh.
You gotta show me.
Oh, dude, I mean, listen. Usually Nike's like the biggest, as far as sneaker culture is concerned, but these are Adidas. Man, they look really, really sweet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the crease guard. We're in the crease guard stage.
Yeah.
Is that I didn't know anything about it until he was
I'm not familiar either.
When you pack your shoes, you got to make sure, that little thing that comes in the shoes. So when you get them, you always put those in when you put your shoes away.
Well, no, these are actual crease guards that I had to buy, and he puts them in the sneaker so that when he walks, it doesn't crease at the top.
There's a really funny scene in is it called You People with Jonah Hill? Where he's going to go propose to his girlfriend, and he's about to kneel down. He goes, "Oh, hang on a second." He has to take his shoes off so he doesn't crease his sneakers. Really, really funny.
I love it.
they're gonna get worn.
Oh, you think?
Yeah,
Dude,
they're
I
gonna get worn.
when I get sneakers as a kid, I ran out and like, let's put some miles on these friggin' things.
Yeah. Well, save your best ones for the Sneaker Bowl, but that's not till June 20th. Right now, what we're talking about with Rodney and Erica is the I Am Youth Leadership Summit. It is this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Slots are filling up, so you need to go to changeourfuture.org. We've got links on PrestonandSteve.com if you want to check that out as well. But the third annual event is this weekend. So aspiring high school students who want to hear some great messages on how to make their future happen and done in a fun way with Wingstop involved.
Yes!
You can get signed up now. But it's great to see you guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us always.
Good luck with the events as always. We love it.
Appreciate it. Hope to see you on June 20th.
Yeah.
Rodney and Erica McLeod, guys. Thank you, guys. I want to, we have another guest who's coming up in just a couple of minutes, but I wanted to make sure that we did touch on this today because it's kind of a historic day. It was 19 years ago that in 2005, the very first YouTube video.
The first YouTube video.
Uploaded, yeah. And it's one called Me at the Zoo.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just somebody walking around the zoo. Have you ever seen it, Kathy?
I don't know.
It's incredibly boring. There's nothing to it.
It's one of the founders, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jawad Kiram, I guess is how you say his name. Jawad Kiram is in front of the elephant enclosure at the San Diego Zoo. And he did craps on him, which is hilarious. No. But I remember when the YouTube phenomenon, when it hit, we were like, and it's going to sound so antiquated to everyone, that this was such a revelation that you could watch someone else's quote-unquote home movie on your computer.
And that was the idea.
And that was it.
Yeah, so we're going to share home movies. And the idea of content creation was as alien as anything.
YouTube, I don't consider it social media, but I'll put it in that umbrella for now. It is by far the most used social media for me personally. I don't use it as social in that I engage or write comments or anything like that. But for day-to-day use, I go on YouTube regularly. I'm either watching the accounts that I like to follow and checking their videos. There's a couple of them that I watch almost every day. Or I'm looking for information. I'm looking for how to do this, how to do that, get some ideas for whatever, decorating or anything.
How many accounts, how many YouTube channels do you subscribe to?
I don't know. I need to go back and check because some I've followed and then just kind of lost interest in, and they're still in my subscriber count.
I have hundreds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't have hundreds.
And a lot of them have to do with the various hobbies that I have because, as you know, Preston, when you're learning something as a learning tool, it becomes really wonderful. So and in a lot of ways, I think of it as, because I end up watching it so much on television, on the regular TV at home, the old that thing called the TV. I watch YouTube channels as if they were just regular channels.
Yeah.
I pulled up my subscriptions. I don't. It doesn't have a number count. All right. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Why don't you consider it social media? Just because you don't.
I don't use it to socially engage. You know what I mean?
You just watch the videos.
I see social media. Yeah, I see social media as
there's back and
engagement.
forth.
There's back and forth.
This is more like entertainment channels.
Yeah.
I have 260 channels that I am subscribed to.
I just pulled them up, Steve. I have about 70, and there are several shows where I hardly ever watch them live. I'll just watch the YouTube the next day, especially with our schedule or whatever. But if it's a late night talk show, for me, it's always YouTube the next day. Like Screen Crush, I love that channel. You know, anything Marvel related. I watched the Deadpool trailer yesterday. And to me, like, I think about how we watched videos like that pre-YouTube, and it was, E-Bombs World, or somebody would mail you the Windows media file, and you would watch it that way. Like, there was no comprehensive
I had to download the Real Player.
Yeah, and you'd have to make sure that the Real Player was updated and accurate at the time, so you could watch whatever you wanted to watch.
Or Flash.
I follow about 35.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
right.
not a whole lot.
How many views does this My Day at the Zoo video have these days?
Don't know. That's a good question.
181.
Yeah, it wasn't that popular on the
It's
onside.
a boring video. No,
317 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
817 million.
317 million.
723 million.
So they're losing viewers as we speak.
As we speak.
Yeah, they got to add new content. That's the problem.
Mine are mainly drums and golf.
There you go.
That's pretty much what I follow. Drums and golf.
I don't follow any. I
Couple of
don't.
musicians.
I have a YouTube page that I don't.
You don't
like,
follow the show? Our own show?
I don't follow
I
anything.
don't think I do.
I don't.
I don't follow anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are so not supportive of us.
I don't follow all you guys on social media either. I just
No.
Yeah, but like
You don't?
the way that I
Aren't
watch
you sick of us?
the way that I watch Daily Rush videos is on YouTube. So I follow the show on YouTube, and I don't know. For me, it just ends up in my feed like any other social media or non-social media, and that's how I end up watching that stuff.
I'm subscribed to it, but yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
Mine's yoga and do-it-yourself activities.
I would say subscribe to the Comic Book Gurus because there's going to be new content coming, and that's a plug.
Steve, what is the most viewed video on YouTube? I bet you know it.
The most viewed video on YouTube.
What is the most viewed video on YouTube?
14 billion views.
Jesus.
And we all know it, and we all hate it.
Oh, Two Girls in a Cup.
No, it's Baby Shark, isn't it?
Baby Shark.
Wow.
I don't hate it.
By the way, I misspoke earlier. I do follow something on YouTube.
Okay.
I have one.
Two Girls in a Cup?
No, it's the Preston and Steve Show.
Oh, there you go.
It's the only thing I subscribe to. So there, I had no idea but that's like I don't use this as a tool like you guys do.
Really?
I do all the time.
What do you use it for?
I mean, I'm very, very specific. If I go to YouTube, I'm going there for something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what does a Baby Shark say?
No, like I will.
You're not browsing.
I'm not browsing.
Yeah,
I will
case,
go
I'm
there
the same.
for the Deadpool trailer, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll do that, and then
wow.
Then I'm in.
Okay.
So I will go to the home. The channels that are selected because they're tangential to what I'll let the algorithm take me away.
Yeah, I will do that a little bit. Number one, a lot of your subscribed, who you subscribe to, their videos will come up first, and I'll start falling down a hole of those because they're either golf or drums, and I know I'm interested in those.
So the Preston and Steve channel, which by the way is Preston Steve WMMR, it has right now 39.2 thousand subscribers. I bet we can get that to 40,000 by the end of the show.
Yeah,
there we go.
that'd be nice.
By the way, the new content that's coming up, as far as Kyle is doing a whole bunch of these really short, punchy Daily Rush videos.
Yeah.
So we're back on that. And I find myself going down. It's weird to go down your own hole, said the perverse proctologist.
More and more people that I encounter out in the public, Steve, listen to the show via YouTube. You know, they'll have it on in the background, and occasionally when they want to watch something that's happening in the studio, they'll start watching it, but they like listening to it just sort of as a passive YouTube, quote unquote, watching.
I met one of the guys who was a co-founder of YouTube. He was
the local guy.
Yeah, he was at. Do you remember when Cuttingham's was open in
I do. Yeah.
Conshohocken?
Yeah.
Was it this guy, Chad Hurley?
I don't remember. It was brief, and it was years ago. It was because they sold it.
Yes. You know how much?
It was hundreds of millions.
1.6 billion.
1.6 billion. Okay.
I remember there was a celebration video that came out when they sold it, and they could not believe their good fortune because they sold it to Google, and these guys started talking about the sale and how some of the details, and they kept giggling because they had just made $1.6 billion.
How much do you think it's worth now?
Oh, but far more.
Right?
Far more.
I mean, but of course, you're not going to sit on $1.6 billion offer and say, I think we'll hold out for something better.
Yeah, at that time, that seemed, we're taking these guys for everything.
Yeah. But
and there was a while where it was kind of it didn't have the growth explosion that it eventually occurred.
And its revenue alone last year was $31.5 billion.
You've got to how much?
$31.5 billion. That's
God.
That company's a monster.
You've got to hand it to its staying power. Like it has stayed what it is for a long time now. There are a lot of things that have switched, gone away completely, or have changed their format, and YouTube has stayed pretty much the same.
So you look at something that might be considered at least inspired by, or a distant competitor like Rumble. Only now Rumble is starting to get a little bit of traction.
Vimeo is another one.
Yeah. So they're all sitting there, sort of, but they're way back from YouTube.
Well, and with YouTube as well, I believe that like after its launch, it dipped for a while, and now it's like one of the most popular.
Once they added our YouTube content,
it shot right back up.
And we're not asking for much.
There's almost nothing that you are looking for you can't find on there. It's incredible.
You guys watch this? Oh, sorry.
Our guest is on the line, so we'll get back to that in a moment.
He's on YouTube.
He is on YouTube. I think I have it on good authority that our next guest appears somewhere on YouTube. We're so excited to have him on. We're big fans. And he's got a really cool event. It's a national event that's taking place this weekend, and it is called PanCan Purple Stride. And it is a walk to end pancreatic cancer.
Yes.
And he's got a direct connection to that. So we are very excited to welcome this morning. Please give some love to Mr. Jonathan Frakes. Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm proud that my Riker Sits Down is a YouTube staple for all the...
Riker Sits Down. Yeah.
I have to see that. I'm sure I've seen it before.
It is a collection of the legendary. You became known. In fact, you have a big meme presence for Riker's sitting technique, and also you end up as
beyond belief.
Beyond belief, exactly. That's got to be kind of a crazy thrill.
It's fantastic. It's re-kicked beyond belief into remake. Who's the tallest man you ever saw? Have you ever been to a Chinese restaurant? Do you ever want to write your name in cement? Have you noticed how real estate agents have become celebrities? Yeah, it's insane.
Well, I love is there's a full catalog of you saying not true, false, fake, and
not this time. The writers made that one up. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's great. Well, listen, we want to make sure we talk about first the serious topic at hand. Pancreatic cancer is one of those that is just it sends chills down people's spines because obviously we've gotten so good with being able to tend to other cancers, but this is it has a very no rhyme or reason aspect to it. You have been touched by it yourself. Your brother passed from pancreatic cancer, correct?
Correct. The great Daniel Frakes died when he was 41, 26 years ago. And at that point, he was yellow, jaundiced. We took him actually into the University of Pennsylvania Hospital. They did the Whipple, which is it looked like the top of a bucket incision. They opened up the gut. And they said, no, I'm sorry. He's got 6 months to live. And then 5 months later, he died a week before our daughter was born, ironically. And there was at that point a 3 or 4% survival rate, and now, I mean, it's 13%. It still sucks, but it is rising, and in part because of the money that we raised with this Purple Stride event and through PanCan.org, which is the Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Society. They're looking desperately for a simple marker, like when we go for our blood test every year.
Yes,
to the doctor, something that could lead people to understand. So we're encouraging everyone when they go for their annual physical, if you've had someone in your family who has it, tell the doc. If you have prediabetes, if you have some strange back pain, there's some signs that often point in this direction, but they're desperately seeking an early detection the way we have, fortunately, with breast cancer and others.
Okay, well, Jonathan, you're spot on. That is so key, so critical. But again, you mentioned the 13%, but I have seen at least a couple of people. Maria Menounos, for example, she had pancreatic cancer, but caught it early. So this is such a key element. Early detection seems to be, at least for now, where we can get the most traction.
Exactly. The reason we're all together on this is Kitty Swink, who is an actor with Armin's wife from Deep Space Nine, the guy who plays Quark. She organized all of us around her because she's a 20-year survivor and is really our guide and our hope. So there is hope.
Yeah, that's amazing. 20 years. When you hear pancreatic cancer, immediately the first thing thinks
goodbye,
death sentence.
Yeah,
immediately.
Exactly. How long?
Yeah.
With the event coming up on Saturday, purplestride.org, I have written down here the best way to find out information.
Do you have the location?
I don't. And I will find that out. We'll get that before the end of this interview. I promise you that.
That'd be great because I think ours in LA is going to start around 9:30 in the morning. It's simple, and it's for a great cause. And also, if you want to get on our team, if you want to help us out, you go to pancan.org. Team Trek, which is
Team Trek.
And it's on Billingsley and Frakes and Manny Cotto's brother JC. So there's 4 of our our team is expanding, and we're trying desperately to beat. We're very competitive. We're trying to raise more money than the oncologist.
Well, I have to suggest something. I would imagine with the legions of you combine two rabid, active fan bases. You have obviously Trek, the Trek world, but you are also near and dear to the fish community.
Yes.
I mean, right? I think mobilize those two groups, and I think you'll put those oncologists, completely back on their heels.
It is my best credit having played with fish. Having played badly with fish.
Badly? Why do you say badly?
I was invited into the studio because our friend, my next door neighbor, Paul Fox, was producing Hoist, and they were massive Trekkies. They said, "I know you play trombone. Come in on Saturday." I went in, and the charts were on the music stand. And when I say they were in 4 sharps, and the notes were way, way out of my embouchure range, I'm not kidding. So I tried desperately. And it was clear after about 5 minutes in the booth that the trombone player they were looking for had a little better technique than I did. So they very generously said, "Thank you. We had a great time. Do you want to have some lunch?" They sent me on my way. And then they hired the brilliant trombone player from Tower of Power who played on the cut. But they saved the outtakes and put it on that Hoist record and called it Riker's Mailbox.
Yep.
by my mailbox, which was an old cow that had been dented because it was up on Lookout Mountain and been run into a number of times. So
oh my God.
The little cut of Riker's Mailbox was a gift from Fishman and others.
Oh my goodness.
Do you remember which track you were playing on? Was it Demand or was it Julius? Or do you remember?
It was on Julius. Oh my God, you've got a good memory.
Well, they're my favorite band of all time.
They're going into the orb or whatever.
The Sphere. They just did.
They just played. Yeah.
They just did it this weekend, and I think they single-handedly revolutionized live music.
He's a bit of a fan.
Again.
Do we get the information on the location?
Do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be at Memorial Hall Please Touch Museum. So that is where this will be taking place this weekend, Saturday, Memorial Hall Please Touch Museum, and you want to sign up for Team Trek.
So, Jonathan, you're from the area, Lehigh Valley, and obviously you talked about Penn. Are you back in the area often?
I was, unfortunately, for my mother's demise, burial, a couple of years ago. She died during COVID. We lived in Bethlehem for most of my life. My dad taught at Lehigh, and it's near and dear to me, as you can imagine. And I spent my first baseball game back in Philly when it was still Connie Mack Stadium. That's how old I am. They don't look bad this year.
No, they look good.
Not yet.
Steve, you had mentioned the 3rd season of Picard, and that I need to see it.
All right, so I'm going to tell you this, Jonathan. I'm a lifelong Trek fan. Preston is as well, and I'm old enough to go back to the original series. But that 3rd season of Picard was such a wonderful, wonderful love letter to the fan base. Were you able to perceive it while you were in it, or only after the finished product were you able to say, "Oh my God, this is amazing"?
I think we kind of felt it as it was going on. The company had been called individually into Terry Metallis's arms, who's the guy who wrote the last season, and he talked about what he thought the characters had been through in the last 20 years, and then he added whatever we felt sometimes to the mix, so that instead of a reunion show, it was the characters came in with purpose, and each puzzle piece to get rid of the villain was I thought it was laid out brilliantly. And also, we're all friends, so we see each other a lot, but we hadn't seen each other in our spacesuits together in a very long time.
Well, it's phenomenal.
I think it was 20 years since the last time.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. That's amazing. All right. It's on my list. I got to add it to the growing list of things that I have to watch, and I will be on board. But we'll point, we know you got to run, John, but we'll point people in the direction of the Pan-Can Purple Stride to make sure they sign up for Team Trek. It's this Saturday at Memorial Hall at the Please Touch Museum. Great to talk to you, sir. Good luck with everything, and thanks for checking in this morning.
You're fabulous. Thanks for your help.
Anytime. Jonathan Frakes, guys. Number 1 himself. And thank you for being on our Xfinity mobile guest line. I do want to mention that. So I love that show. Love it. I love going back and watching old Next Generation episodes every now and then.
It's
so
phenomenal.
Well
I will tell you this, and again, if you were any sort of fan, or over the course of the years, whether it be Deep Space Nine or Voyager, this third season, Picard, I was not a massive fan of. Seasons 1 and 2 was like, oh my god. Third season, again, they got this creative guy to come in and say, let's do this. And it's everything, you know how we talk about shows that just end and it's like, oh man, they didn't stick the landing.
Yeah.
This did. I mean, you have moments where my wife's looking at me like I'm a friggin' idiot because they go aboard the Enterprise from the Next Generation. And I won't go into too much, but they've sort of refurbed it and got it up to flying abilities, and they're all there on the deck, and I'm like, it's amazing.
All right, I got to check it out. I need to double back to our former conversation about YouTube and mention that the Preston and Steve Show YouTube channel is powered by our friends and partners at Neumann University.
Yeah!
Neumann University, come discover a new you
over there.
We are going to take a break because we got another $1,000 to give away with Good Money But before we do that, would like to give away a $50 gift card to Hangry Bear Creamery. I think a stunning success here amongst the staff on the Preston and Steve Show on MMR. So let's take caller number 13, 215-263 WMMR. They are in Kennett Square. Not only serve amazing food like their chicken apple brie sandwich, they also specialize and produce premium ice cream and custom flavors like Casey had made, which are available online ordering for pickup or shipment. And hangrybearcreamery.com is a website. Once again, they're on Cypress Street in Kennett Square. So caller number 13, $50 gift card, 215-263 WMMR. We'll be right back. WMMR, it is everything that rocks. Mr. Pierre Robert is going to be spending some time with the brothers, with both of them, Rich and Chris. Got details coming up very, very soon. So we'll get to that down the road when I get the official word. But right now, we're going to take our final look at traffic. I hope I was allowed to say that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you did.
Yeah, well, I did. So there.
Suck it.
We have our final look at traffic. Kathy, what's going on this morning?
The White Horse Pike eastbound at Bremen Avenue, an accident. So it has the roadway closed right now. It looks like an accident with the down pole closed between Philadelphia Avenue.
2 minutes and change before a Good Money I want to thank a gentleman who's in our studio, Bob Pigeon, and he gave us this really cool custom chessboard.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I have not had a chance to take a look at it. You guys were checking that out, right?
Yeah.
For you.
You can grab it for me?
Yeah, Case will get it. It's got the standard, obviously, chessboard top, but the artistry around it and underneath it, quite impressive.
I want to see that. It's being brought over as we speak. It says, good morning, good morning to see you on the outside of it. And it says, hey, bitches, hey, what? And privileged and Gadzooks and hi, grandma. That's really cool, man.
And then look underneath.
Something underneath? Oh, Bob's Custom Chessboards, official board of the Preston and Steve Show.
You hold it up for the YouTube camera?
That's really cool. So
that's neat.
Here.
Very nice.
Right there.
We're going to try and start this community-wide chess game. Let's see if it works.
Are you any good, Case?
No. I'm not like horrible at it, but there are just, listen, for me, Connect 4 is my game. It's real simple, you know? Red versus black, checkers, and, you know.
I think you'd be good at it. If you took the time to.
Gave some time.
Yeah. It takes practice.
Nick, I never learned how to play.
Really?
Nope, I don't know how to play. I always felt
it's a great game.
I always felt like a dum-dum because I didn't know how to play.
Well, you are a dum-dum.
Oh, thank you.
Kathy, I already know. No. After a while, you know, oh, this is stupid. I'm not doing this.
Well, I can play checkers, but like who can't play checkers? I always felt like chess was like the smart people's game.
You know how much I hate board games, and I'm down with chess.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, I would be out because it's just like too much thinking and not much playing, kind of?
I don't know, just because it seems like, I don't know, the type of activity that you would find a waste of time.
Well, you can use, the way I play is I just make the horsey go around.
Preston, I think the only reason I might be into it is the only people that I know that actually sit down and play, like they get together and play, are two friends of mine. And by the time they're finished, neither of them can walk.
Because they're hammered while they're drinking. Yeah, if you sit and stare at the board and wonder what might happen too long, you can just be sitting there for a long time. Go, well, if I do this, they'll do that, and if I do this, but if I do that, they'll do that, and if I do this, that'll cause them to do that. It's a great game, but it takes a lot of patience and a lot of thought. By the way, Bob also made these really cool coasters for us, and he made mine in the style of Rush.
Looks great.
The Starman from the cover of the 2112 album, which I thought was
no sad, bro.
Pretty amazing. Oh, awesome.
They did it. in red and silver.
Nice.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
And then Casey got...
I got a Kelsey.
Oh, nice.
Kelsey jersey. Yep.
All right.
So
What did you
did,
get, Kath?
And I got my Kathy Romano collection
logo.
Isn't that so cool?
That is.
Did Bob provide pieces as well?
He did.
Okay, cool.
As a matter
so
of
we
fact.
can start playing today if you
Like
want.
right now.
Awesome.
Are they standard chess pieces?
Standard chess. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
didn't know
Bob,
if he
where
made
are they
those
at?
too. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You know what?
They're in the green room.
You got some
They're,
business to attend to.
Yeah,
Let me
all
go
right.
take a look at
Thank
this.
you, Bob Pigeon.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
The keyword is estate. ESTATE. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways to do it. You can enter at WMMR.com via the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner will get a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules are available at WMMR.com, and it is sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So again, the word is estate, ESTATE. You can enter that now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Liberty Safes of New Jersey, having their biggest tax refund sale ever. Liberty Safes of New Jersey in Mount Laurel and Hamilton Township. You can save online at libertysafesnj.com. A grandmother was arrested on Thursday, April 18th, after she allegedly helped her granddaughter beat up another student at an elementary school.
Hi, Grandmom.
A grandmother was dropped off with her granddaughter at McGonigal Elementary School. The pair were buzzed into the building for a behavioral meeting. Oh, boy. The grandmother saw another girl that her granddaughter was having trouble with, so she and her granddaughter followed her into the bathroom. The grandmother then held down the girl while the granddaughter punched her.
Hi, Grandmom. Hi, Grandmom.
The grandmother is lodged at the county jail as we speak. No names are being released as she is pending arraignment. The public relations coordinator from the school said in a statement, an unfortunate incident transpired at McGonigal Elementary School involving a grandparent of a student who managed to circumvent security protocols and gain unauthorized access to the school premises.
Tweety, are we going to have to cut a bitch?
It is crucial to emphasize that no other children in the school were involved or harmed during this incident. Our school administration is diligently implementing all necessary measures to prevent such breaches of security.
It's important to know that not every child today was beaten up by a grandmother.
This is true. All right, in Australia, snake bite victims are endangering medical staff by bringing in the reptiles with them to the hospitals, doctors say. In Queensland's Wide Bay region, doctors have come face-to-face with some of the world's most venomous snakes captured by patients, believing that it will help with identification and treatment. In one case earlier this month, emergency staff at Bundaberg Hospital were handed a plastic food container that had a small eastern brown snake inside peering back at them. The incident has prompted the hospital's director of emergency medicine, Adam Michael, to warn patients to leave snakes alone. He said, we honestly don't want people interacting with snakes any more than they already have to. Any attempts to either get close to a snake just to kill it or to photograph the snake just puts people at risk.
So they should just come in regardless if you've been bitten, and they'll figure out what you were bitten by?
Yeah, don't bring the snake with you.
I might be inclined to do that.
Dr. Michael said the Eastern Brown brought in earlier this month was not very well secured and was wriggling around trying to get out. The staff got a fright at the serious consequences of that is delays people's time to treatment. He said we want to be able to get seen and assessed quickly, people to be seen and assessed quickly. And having a live snake in the department slows up that process.
It's got to be weird if people are walking in with snakes in containers.
Yep. Snake bites in Australia are considered rare, but in March, 47-year-old Jeremy Blokes died after being bitten multiple times by a suspected eastern brown snake.
He was bitten by this snake. Catch.
There are about 3,000 suspected snake bites across Australia each year, but only about 100 to 200 cases require any anti-venom. All right, a woman who hails from Fiji has faced a sudden Uber ban due to her first name, which Uber deemed potentially offensive, despite her name's Sanskrit meaning of good luck. So, Swastika Chandra.
Swastika Chandra.
Yeah, Swastika Chandra. Her name has been deemed too associated with the Nazi Party. Chandra, however, proudly stands by her name, noting its cultural significance predating Hitler's co-opting of the symbol.
She's right.
It took 5 months and intervention from the Hindu Council and the NSW Attorney General for Uber to grant Chandra an exemption. The NSW Jewish Board of Deputies also supported Chandra, highlighting the cultural nuances surrounding names. Eventually, Uber apologized to Chandra and reinstated her access as well.
This is my sister, Burning Cross.
Yeah.
How old is she? Does it say?
You know what? It doesn't say, Nick.
I mean,
how long ago did her parents name her that?
She has the right to have a name like that, but it's also been appropriated by the Nazis.
Even though it was co-opted by Hitler, sometimes it sticks.
She's going to take it back.
And that's, exactly. So
I can fight all that bad press.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to a screwdriver, William Gorgaitis is alive. While diving for fossils in the Cooper River, the South Carolina man was greeted by an alligator and dragged to the bottom of the waterway.
What are we going to do about this?
Thanks to the little bit of air remaining in his scuba tank, Georgitis was able to breathe as the gator grabbed his arm and started to roll him. Georgitis was able to get his free hand on the screwdriver that he used for his fossil hunting and jab the gator in the eye.
So he was literally rolling down the river.
Yeah, the gator then took him to the bottom of the river, and Georgitis was able to get another screwdriver shot in the reptile's gum line, which apparently is a sensitive, softer tissue. And that did the trick. Why did you do that?
Come on, not fair.
And that did the trick, as he was able to pull his bloody arm out of the animal's mouth and swim an estimated 50 feet back up to the surface where he could,
alligator bit my hand. Oh, my God.
where he could breathe again. From there, Georgitis was taken to a local hospital and is lucky to be alive, recovering from his...
He's met by his wife, Ginger.
...injuries. Gingivitis. All right, and then one last story. Let's go with this one. Before a 21-year-old Memphis woman could board a United Airlines flight, Memphis International Airport police found just 56 pounds of marijuana in her luggage.
What? How big would 56 pounds of pot be?
Because pot is light.
Yes.
So it had to have been packed. It had to have been, compacted.
I'm bringing my bed with me.
The woman was charged with possession of a controlled substance with the intention to manufacture, deliver, or sell. This charge is a felony offense, carries harsh penalties. Memphis Airport Police caught the woman Sunday after finding her luggage busted open on a United Airlines bag cart.
I'm traveling with my support sofa.
The woman's name tag was attached to the bags. After locating the woman's luggage, she gave the airport police permission to search her bags. Once the drugs were found, she was subsequently arrested. The street value is between $200,000 and $350,000 on that. Yeah, exactly. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we have one final $50 gift card to give away from our friends at Hangry Bear Creamery. We thank them so much for bringing by all this fantastic food today. And we'll take caller number 18 at 215-263-WMMR. Fantastic sandwiches, waffles, and homemade ice cream. You can visit Hangry Bear Creamery for food, ice cream, boozy shakes.
Boozy shakes?
Or you can book an ice cream making studio session.
He was a ragtime pianist.
Hangry Bear Creamery, inspired by creativity and fueled by hunger. So call it.
Everybody loves the song stylings of boozy shakes.
Caller number 18 at 215-263-WMMR. And another thing. You have about 5 minutes left to enter the word estate, and that is for our Good Money It promotion. A chance for you to win $1,000, so make sure you do that now. The word is estate, E-S-T-A-T-E. We'll come back in a moment, and we'll get the trash, the music news, and the lesson question, and all of that. That man might be done. Blur might be done with live shows. We were just talking about that at Coachella.
Yeah, and it seemed, the way you described the recounting of it, it seemed like a spontaneous decision.
I'm done. Screw this, man. We're not doing this anymore. So we'll wait and see if that ends up being the case. It is 19 minutes after 10 o'clock. It's a Tuesday morning Preston Steve Show. And a beautiful day today, by the way. Sunshine, a high of about 70 degrees. Not bad at all. Tomorrow, 70. Pretty much the same thing. A few more clouds. Sunny on Thursday and Friday. Temperatures a little bit cooler. Steve was looking at an advanced forecast, and it's looking like next week, Monday, maybe like
80.
Over 80 degrees.
Yeah.
83 degrees or something like that. We're just going to feel like full-on summer.
I mean, we're into the spring now, obviously, and I'm enjoying this. I honestly, to get any days like that or warm days without the weight of humidity that the summer will deliver to us is awesome.
Except there was a freeze or a frost warning
last night
and the night before.
Yeah.
Yes, and I left my plants out.
I know. I brought mine in. I had to get up out of bed, go downstairs because.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, because Alexa gave me a alert.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Well, what is it?" And I knew that the frost was coming, but she reminded me. It's like, "I'm out of bed. I went got the."
Do you have it set to give you frost alerts?
No, I don't have anything set. Sometimes I get alerts. Sometimes I don't know. But I get a weather alert every evening for the next day.
I'm alerted at the yin yang deliveries, everything.
Deliveries.
All right,
yeah, we got all the delivery alerts. Yeah,
I was worried. I actually spent about an hour last night breastfeeding my rutabagas.
Oh,
because I didn't know.
You don't have to do that.
What does that have to do with anything?
They're very tender. Yeah, you gotta baby those things. All right, so we will ask a lesson question today. We're gonna give away a $50 Manhattan Bagel gift card. If you can answer this correctly, what biblical figures will be a part of Rodney and Erica McLeod's Youth Leadership Summit event? 215-263-WMMR. There were two biggies.
Yeah.
What biblical figures will be a part of Rodney and Erica McLeod's Youth Leadership Summit event? 215-263-WMMR. If you heard it mentioned, you need to call now, and while you do that, we'll do this.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. Dust, pollen, and dander are in the air. Horizon Services can help avoid costly breakdowns and clear away allergens. Schedule an AC tune-up now, and they're also going to schedule a free fall tune-up. Book at horizonservices.com/. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, PBS Masterpiece Theater confirming that fan-favorite series All Creatures Great and Small will return for 2 more seasons. PBS says they needed 2 more seasons because they accidentally left out some of the small creatures. It's easy to miss them. Cheryl Burke suggesting being the breadwinner in her marriage to Matthew Lawrence ended up causing them to split up. Burke admits she originally thought she would never have to work a day in her life when she married the brother of Joey Lawrence. And finally, Valerie Bertinelli going Instagram official, posting pictures of her sharing some PDA with her new boyfriend, Mike Goodenough. Bertinelli could, trust me, his name might be good enough, but he is so much less.
Oh, yeah.
And that's your Hollywood.
We are looking for the answer. There were 2 people that showed up as Rodney and Erica McLeod's guests at a Youth Leadership Summit event. And who will they be? 215-263-WMMR. We're going to go to Zach, see if we can get that answer. Hi, Zach. Morning, bud.
Hey, good morning.
All right, good morning to see you, Zach. So what biblical figures will be a part of the Youth Leadership Summit event?
I think that was Jesus and Moses.
Yes. Well done, Zach. We're going to give you a $50 Manhattan Bagel gift card. You can try the new French toast egg sandwich, a French toast gourmet bagel, fresh cracked eggs, sausage, bacon, cheddar, honey almond cream cheese, and a drizzle of syrup. You can get 20% off of your first online order at manhattanbagel.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Smash!
garage.
Brought to you by 80 Moyer Lumber Incorporated. Trusted experts since 1939. 80 Moyer Lumber is your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. Visit them on the web at admoyer.com. Just one or two things for you. Imagine Dragons are embarking on their largest North American headline tour to date, and it will be in support of their upcoming album, Loom. Scheduled for release on June 28th, and the tour will kick off July 30th. The first stop, Camden, New Jersey.
Well, there you go.
Yep, they'll be playing Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Various stops in cities across the U.S. and Toronto as well.
That was Jace's first concert. We went to
Imagine Dragons?
Yeah, 2 summers ago, I think it was, and it was awesome.
That was Ben's first concert too. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I think we had talked about it.
Yeah, that's they're a great live show, and all
they're
ages.
good. They're good for kids. Yeah,
Exactly. Are they fire breathing? Because it would be an opportunity to see if there's a little man sitting on a stool.
No, you know why, Steve? Because they're imaginary.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So get off our backs.
Imagine Dragons. Fans can secure tickets through a Live Nation presale starting Thursday and a City Card presale today before the general on-sale date of Friday via Ticketmaster.
That whole City Card thing, did they try that with, was that Tay-Tay that they did that with?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the mechanism here, Case?
You have
I
to be a
forget.
City Card owner, and you get a special presale.
That's kind of suck a card.
It's one more step. It's exhausting.
Oh, that's why she did the commercials?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you try doing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, and it went bad with Taylor, right?
People were in queue for 30 hours.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Additionally, VIP packages offering exclusive perks like signed guitars and backstage tours are available for purchase as well.
And real quick, his message on stage for kids is amazing.
Yeah.
He talks about self-confidence and when people make you not feel good about yourself. It's and social media, and his message was I loved it when I was there. I thought he did an excellent job.
Love it. MMR presents the Black Crows Happiness Bastard Tour. It's going to be Tuesday, May 7th at the Met, and we are hosting a sound check party that afternoon. The radio station is. So here's a few ways that you can win. Pierre's giving away a pair each day this week. Another chance to win at WMMR.com. You can enter once a day online. Some tickets remain at Ticketmaster. As I said earlier, and I didn't know if I was supposed to or not, but Pierre is going to be, I'm okay with it?
Yeah.
Is that on Tuesday?
I don't know when the day is. I just know that
next
you're
week,
allowed to.
Pierre is going to have a sit down in the studio with Rich and Chris Robinson.
That is actually,
yeah.
If you had stated that sentence a couple years ago, you would have said you're lying.
2 weeks from now, Marissa says.
Well, you were lying then.
And our Xfinity mobile guest line is ringing, so it's probably Chuck or Pierre or somebody with the actual information. I'm sorry.
Well, let's put them on.
Somebody who just won $1,000, maybe.
Maybe that too. I don't know,
We'll
but
have to find out.
nonetheless, so you can tune in to Pierre later on. I'm sure he'll have the correct information.
Pierre, you screwed it up.
I was only partially listening in the meeting yesterday when we had been given said information. So.
You were designing your ice cream.
All right. And yeah, we're crying out loud. We actually were.
Is that going to happen?
What?
Your ice cream? The one that you designed?
I don't know. I just mentioned it to him.
It better happen.
I don't. It doesn't.
You know what?
To.
I'm not showing up to work until it happens.
It doesn't have to happen. But you know what I am going to do? I'm going to schedule. I'm going to schedule one of those ice cream making sessions.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
I think that'd be a blast. I think my kids would dig that. I think,
They can make your swim spa, Case.
That's a nice activity.
Dude, if they can make me an endless pool swim spa. I don't think they can. That's me playing.
Right. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
Reverse psychology.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can make one for me.
Did you see they have the one flavor called Unicorn Toots?
I did.
Yeah, it's got, Steve, it has rainbow cotton candy. It's got chocolate unicorn bark pieces in it. And,
I like that. I like that.
And they said it probably wouldn't sell as well if it was called Unicorn Farts.
Yeah.
So they named it Unicorn Toots.
Because that's cute.
It's cute.
Unicorn Toots.
Toots are cute.
I just tooted crap all over the wall.
All right. That's it in music news. Are we?
We're going to take a break.
No, Marissa says we got to take a break. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We will come back in a moment. We will be wrapping up our program in a moment, but we have a really cool Word of the Week prize, and you'll need the next letter to be a part of that. So we hope that you'll stay with us because we won't be gone long.
Preston.
Blink 182 on 93.3 WMMR. What's my age again? It is 10:35 in the Preston and Steve Show as we are coming to a close. Another fine day to spend together and some fine people to talk to as well. I would like to thank the following guests who stopped by this morning. We had Rodney and Erica McLeod stop in. Still doing great things charity-wise, and they have an event called the 3rd Annual Spring I Am Youth Leadership Summit, and a bunch of people are getting together to talk to these high school kids and give them some motivation to
wonderful.
Aim high and shoot for the dreams. So it is this weekend, and it's at the Community College Philadelphia. And you can go to PrestonandSteve.com. We'll have links on getting signed up because there is a registration. It's free, by the way. It's totally free. And Jonathan Frakes, number one, came on the show to talk about Team Trek against pancreatic cancer. It's the nationwide event that's Saturday. It's going to be at the Please Touch Museum. And you can go to purplestride.org. His brother died from pancreatic cancer. And
41.
A few other people from the Star Trek community have been touched by pancreatic cancer as well. So it's near and dear to his heart and to many people's as well. So, today's Tuesday.
What?
And we had a Tattoos Day today. Our winner is Michael Malone of Drexel Hill. And Mike is going to get a $350 gift certificate from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street, 1729 South Street, if you want to go there in person. Of course, you can check out artwork samples at their website, floatingworldtattoos.com, and they're all over Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. So, Michael, congratulations to you, man. Thanks for listening. We appreciate that. Oh, and thank you to Hangry Bear Creamery.
Oh, my God.
Man, the food is wonderful. Not just, you hear creamery and you automatically think ice cream, and you should, but their sandwiches and their breakfast stuff, it's just excellent. I can't say enough about it.
So they've been open since, I guess, December. And, I mean, getting a restaurant up and running and being successful is a Herculean chore. But, man, they've got all the right things, the food, the ice cream, it's all there. You should really check them out.
HangryBearCreamery.com. They are in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. So we thank them for coming, Melinda and the crew for stopping by here this morning. Hey, man.
Good day.
What's up over there?
Just following the lads.
Following the lads? Living life?
Living life, living large. I went and saw Bad Bunny on Friday.
How was that?
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
My nephew is about to graduate from Penn, and he was in town doing his PhD dissertation finale thing where he got his PhD, which was cool, and I got to go to that. And then he goes, he had asked me, could we go to Bad Bunny? And I go, who's Bad Bunny? And he goes, well, he's really cool, and my nephew lives in Puerto Rico, and Mr. Bunny is Puerto Rican, and it was fascinating. He didn't speak a word of English.
Right.
There was a bunch of Phillies players who went over to the game after the Phils game on Friday night, Pierre, including a lot of the Spanish-speaking players.
Oh, wow.
And Brandon Marsh, who's friendly with the show, took these guys over. So Gregory Soto and Kristen Pache and Rojas, they were all there, and they're all singing this along to the songs in Spanish. And Marsh does not speak much Spanish, so he was completely lost. Were you lost?
I was in the woods.
Okay.
But it was a fascinating show. I loved it. It was a mostly Puerto Rican audience, and everyone is speaking Spanish to each other. And these men and women, they're singing along to every single word. So it was. I liked being in that experience. Mr. Bunny himself is a fascinating guy. I couldn't quite follow his train of thinking in terms of his artistry. There were some gaps, he just would stop, and the lights would be off, and then it would start up again. And it wasn't like an encore. It was only for a minute and a half or 2 minutes. Then he did this thing where he goes from one stage to the other on this giant ramp that goes up, and he gets on the ramp, and the ramp starts elevating and flying across the arena. And he's doing a couple of songs, and then it just stops, and he leans over the ramp and is waving at people. He's not singing. There's no music. He's just, for 5 minutes, he's just waving to people. And he's pointing to people like a politician would from the, you're the best, and you're the best. And I'm going, wait, shouldn't there be music accompanying him at the very least? At any rate, but everyone had a good time.
It's good to experience stuff like that.
Yeah, it was great. Mr. Bunny was lovely.
Bunny.
Excellent, Mr. Bunny.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, we need a letter, Mr. Pierre.
We could do it.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
O as in operator.
All right, we got 2 letters, 3 to go. We're going to give away a pair of tickets in a hotel room for the night as MMR rocks Motley Crue Saturday, May 4th. Hard Rock Live at Estes Arena in Atlantic City. Plus passes to join Jackie Bam Bam for a meet and greet with Motley Crue. Jackie is also hosting a pre-party that night at the Hard Rock AC, giving away a signed autograph and drumhead. Tickets are on sale now for both Crue shows that weekend, May 3rd and 4th, via Ticketmaster. What's happening on today's show?
More Good Money at Opportunities at 12 noon and again at 3 and again at 5 this afternoon. More of those, as you just mentioned, Black Crowes sound check tickets and tickets for the full show at the Met May 7th. And you're correct that the Fightin' Robinsons, will be coming in on that day, the day of the show, which is 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
So they will be coming in to visit us. It's been a long time since they were here. The last time they were playing in Camden, and this was 1999, 2000, give or take. And they came over, and the record rep said they were fighting all the way over in the limousine. They came up and did a couple of songs, Chris and Rich, and we had a lovely conversation, got back in the limousine, and he told me they fought all the way back to the venue. And I'm going, excellent.
That's crazy, yeah.
Be careful if you get in a band with your brother. But they will be coming by, and we'll have tickets to give away today. We'll also get into Workforce Blocks of the Dead and Greta Van Fleet and Van Halen.
Oh, I love that. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show does run on Dunkin'. Also, Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and Monster Jam. Monster Jam roars into Lincoln Financial Field Saturday, May 4th. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. We'll do tomorrow Fox Good Day secret text word. Tom Green in our studio tomorrow. Our buddy Zach Snyder, the director, will be checking in with us. And we're also going to have the Phillies bad boy, Adam Crognale will be joining us.
Yeah, he's a great dude, and we're trying to get the Phillies themselves to help support him in his endeavor against leukemia and lymphoma. And Steve sent an article about this guy last year. He's a fascinating dude, and I'm looking forward for you guys to meet him tomorrow.
All right, that'll be tomorrow, amongst other things. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.